About 2 days ago, a radio broadcast was put out onto the world. It was picked up by a few signals, one of which was the TMG base. It was something of a sudden shock, a jolt to the company. 5 members of the company had gone independent, I suppose would be the best way, but the news says gone rogue, a PR disaster spilling out. Not just that, but a member of TMG's leadership also seemed to have different allegiances. Moonmin Seo is gone. Having attempted an arrest of a few of the members of TMG, you know a bit more of the story. Arrested, brought away, they seem to spring some type of plan and go off and attack the space elevator, resulting in a crazed franticness in the UEA sector of the planet. But that only came a few minutes, hours before the arrival of something even worse. A second alien fleet. Floating in orbit, it came down rapidly and began a renewed assault upon all of the territories on Earth 3. A war that seemed like it could have been nearing to an end on Earth 3 suddenly spilled over again, fires reigniting all over the world. And before that, though, back in those 2 days, before she left, Moonmin Seo did reach out to one person. She called out, going on as she prepared her things, making a frantic call in between the time of her decision and the time of her departure. Let me just pull us over to another map really quick. Where is this one? Should be correct. Let me just look at it. Alrighty. This one? Alrighty. This one is correct. Okay. Raoul, during that day and that time, you had begun your own departure out into the Angrist countryside. You were looking for any type of goods you could acquire, anything that you could pull out and try to achieve for resources or anything. As you continued on this path, you were staring at the... Here, let me bring you over to it. The mission screen. There was an attack not too long ago. You had gone back out to this area. The place that was where you were ambushed, where that attack happened against you. You stared at this console and looked at the different avenues of attack that were put upon you. The place where you were all captured and brought away to alien facilities. It left you feeling... Well, how did it leave you feeling? After you got back, after you returned to base, after you were in a mech cockpit again.
Raoul cannot shake this feeling that it was all too much of a coincidence that, hell, even though we have been a thorn on the aliens' side, to send a full-scale fleet just to engage us, and not just a normal soldiers, they sent their elite to take us down. Is that really something that we've brought upon ourselves? Or was there some other reason? So that feeling just kept repeating on loop in Raoul's head, and then it came to him that there was a signal that we've never ended up investigating in that mission. And that's what he set out to find out more about.
You set out to go find that signal, looking across the way and trying to head out to that location. But by the time you did get there again, that signal... You found some things, you found some useful information, but the exact source of the signal seemed to almost disappear on you. As you trekked around the area, you managed to make it worthwhile, but the journey itself was a little bit... not pointless, but not as many questions were answered as you would have wanted. And suddenly, calling over the communications device, Raul, hello. Are you there?
Raul reaches in his cockpit to the comms, turning on his mic. Yeah? Can you hear me?
I can
Everything
hear
all
you.
right?
She stops for a moment. There's been a little bit of trouble.
What do
She
you mean?
kind of, I think I miscalculated something. She stops. There's this sort of tenor to her voice that seems a bit different as she sort of speaks again to you. I think I made a bit of a mistake putting someone on a mission. I'll have to clean that up myself.
What do you... Stop speaking in riddles, please. What happened? Why are you calling me? Can I help?
She stops. You're right. That's unfair of me. I called you to let you know I'll be leaving now. Be leaving TMG.
What? Raul, like, sits still in the cockpit of his mech for a little bit. What are you... Where are you going? Why are you telling me this? I mean... He stops. What happened?
She, waits for a bit, and then you ask what happened. She sort of speaks up again. It appeared that in the recent mission that was undertaken by Asher, the one he was sent in alone with Dumpster, his own personal background came out. One that he told me about, and she kind of thinks a tie-in with the Cosmonites. It seems that's spilled out into an issue with the mission itself. She clicks and sends you over, and a briefing comes up. You look at a mission briefing that runs down, and you see a clientele, subclient by Earth Connective, a mission for people retraction, some type of recovery of cargo, but this cargo are people, human beings that are trying to be retaken by Earth Connective after a freighter crash when the disaster happened so long ago.
Moon, you know damn well that if clones make landfall into Earth 3, they're not weapons anymore. What the fuck is this mission?
She takes a moment. Perhaps it was a mistake. We didn't know about the mission until it was fully on us. Maybe it was the decision of Asher to try to do what was right. But that's only going to cause problems. So I'm going to take care of it.
Take care of it. What? You're gonna leave and... What is your game here? No,
Raul?
calling it a game is wrong. What's your plan? What are you gonna do?
She, can you make me a read a situation roll?
Yeah, absolutely, sir.
Thank you.
Raul, my boy. Where are his things? I'm pretty sure I just have a +2 in this one. Yep.
Oh, okay. So she talks to you and she says, it's a simple decision. Earth Connective isn't like any of the other corporations we've dealt with until now. I would know. I worked with them a while ago. They're not going to take this laying down, so I'm going to do what's necessary for the safety of the company. And that's going to be sacrificing a few personnel.
Moon. You say those words and yet you sound like you're about to throw up. Just know... He stops for a second. I'm in no place to judge you. If this is what you want, if this is the trajectory you plan to go on, know that running away is an option.
She kind of thinks about that. Why are you still here? That's sort of a part of the reason I called. Why are you here right now?
That's a broad question.
Why haven't you just left the company already? I wanted to leave. I've already set my mind on this, but I'm still just... You've been a lot of help. It'd feel wrong to just leave you dry, not talk to you before I left. But why the hell are you even staying here?
He stops, relaxes a little bit, lets the tension escape his body, sinks back into the chair of his Holzmeyer mech. It being still so long has activated its cloaking ability. I'm here because I have nowhere left to go. I'm here because... well, answers, I guess. I'm here because I know that if I try to run away from this war, it's just gonna come back up and kill me, regardless. There's no hiding from this conflict. Moon, you said you're taking down some of the members of TMG. Don't know who exactly they are, but I have my guesses. And that's why I want to remind you that running away is an option. You have... engaging those monsters in a fight is a surefire way to end up in a coffin of steel.
There's a moment of waiting. Okay, give me a charm roll.
I'm actually really good at those.
Yeah, you're pretty good at that. Don't say that. Don't say that before you roll it.
If South proved anything to me, is that me bragging has never misguided my dice rolls.
No, not at all. Oh, hey, that's a pass.
Okay. Hey, over a 10.
So, over 10.
He puts it at as a stinger to that line. I'm here because there are people who need me, I'd like to think, and there are ways I can help.
She waits a little bit, and you reflect on what you've been talking about, and still, this conversation, what she said, doesn't really add up. And she finally speaks one last thing before... the last thing she really said to you before all this ended off. You're right, but I've been running way too long. I can't relate to you here. Unlike everyone here in this company, everyone who's run out of choices, I still have a home to go back to. So I'm gonna stop running now. I think that's my decision.
I wish you good luck.
Don't die.
I hope to God I see you again.
I'm worried about the context where we would meet again. Goodbye. And just like that, the message clicked off and you were left in a burning landscape.
Raoul stops for a second, comms shutting off. He looks at the monitor of his new Hulsmeyer mech and just punches a hole straight through the screen. Fuck! Shit! What do you mean? Why are people just going on about doing whatever the fuck they feel like? Don't they get it? We're in a war!
You scream, press the console, but in this place, in this desolate landscape, Raoul, you're in a war all your own. No comrades stand by you and give you support in this moment. And 2 days later, we're dragged off and away. Silas, to put it bluntly, you've been very busy. The last 2 days, I don't know if you slept. Stems will keep a man running for a week if you let them.
I haven't needed the stems.
I bet you wouldn't. After all, back on by 9, some type of extended work shifts and otherwise sometimes demanded more from someone than the human body is usually meant to take. It's simply a matter of course for you right now. But you haven't had a day like this since you've come to Earth 3. As you stare directly at this monitor, a number of sigils flash up. Silas, how are you doing?
How long after the news has this? How long since last session has it been?
2 days.
2 days. Silas has been doing any level of clerical work and paperwork or whatever that has been needed of him in the times where he is present enough to not feel uncontrollable and blinding rage.
Mm-hmm. You
And
know,
it's to a point that he doesn't feel, he doesn't even feel like he knows what it means to he doesn't know what it means to just be here, to be present, to be a person almost. He can't even seem to grasp who he is.
you are in this moment then, I guess, would you say you're sort of a font of, like, raw work? You are doing clerical work, doing things, and whenever you take a moment to be a person, you feel this unbridled rage?
I think it is literally the only way he is able to funnel any of this anger in any kind of productive way, in any kind of way which yields any results, but it is razor thin. And if anyone has been around him, it has been clear that he is essentially walking along the thinnest ice you can possibly imagine.
For this specific task, with you so strung up, there's only been one person who has ever dared to even talk to you for more than a couple of seconds so far during this week. As far as at least I state. Maybe someone else has attempted to talk to you. That's up to the players. But beyond that, there's a man who has walked along you like a bird sitting on the gator's mouth or a raven hunting with a wolf. Simply a tired man who moves with this gented, like staggered movement as he steps back inside. He has also been hard at work, not quite as sleepless as you. However, the way his face looks, you could probably really not tell the difference. He steps up, pulls out a few more papers. I have accumulated all accounts from any witnesses and any type of security camera. I have it all here. Nothing new. He puts it down and starts transcribing it onto the digital screen in front of him as he stares up at you. I think you're getting...
Silas doesn't even say anything. He doesn't even nod in response. It is to a point where he knows that if he speaks, he doesn't know what he is going to say anymore. So he just lets him keep talking.
He stops, puts a piece of paper onto the holographic table. The light kind of shines through the paper, causing a slight dimness on one point of the planet, just as he sort of looks across. You've got a call from Earth Connective. Do you want me to take it?
The call's for me, isn't it?
It's for TMG leadership. He kind of looks at you. There's only one of you standing right now. That's right. Pops, ever since he got that notification, has been out of it. He hasn't given you a single hand yet, basically.
Silas hasn't even asked for him. Uncharacteristically, he has not even said a word in critique of Pops either. And Silas just goes, then with all due respect, it was a bit of a stupid question.
He goes on over and clicks. I leave it to you. I will continue on the work you were doing up until 5 seconds ago. He moves on over, reaches his hand for the pad, but doesn't directly take it until you give it to him.
He just reaches out and grabs it without glancing over.
Alright. He steps on back here, almost sits down into the living room, pushes his head against the couch, rubs his temple, and it clicks up for a moment. As in this moment of rage, you see a face reflected across you. And this moment of just pure, unbridled fury roiling beneath, you stare at this smug-ass face being projected onto the front screen there as he almost looks directly at you. Well then. Seems that you've caused a problem for Earth Connective recently.
Have we?
I believe you have. He kind of looks across. Even though they bore a different name and outfit, I believe these, what is it? This Cipher Claw, Dead End, whatever the hell they want to call themselves. They were from your company, weren't they?
He doesn't see this, but Silas's hands like grip the table so hard that if he wasn't wearing combat gauntlets, then you would see they were white knuckle. And he just goes, "Is there a point to this call?"
Yes, there's a point. See, the recent attack on the space elevator, combined with the also very recent breaking of contract on the recent mission we assigned to you in TMG, has been leaving us wondering what exactly your game is, and if you're going to plan any sort of recompense at all for the recent actions
I
against
happen
Earth
to have a
Connective.
couple of questions for you, actually, considering that one of my leaders, one of my leadership, my members, one of my peers, seems to have been under your thumb. I think you know damn well what the fuck was going on. So don't bother me with this shit.
He, classic mercenary, unable to control their anger. He sort of, flicks his hair back for a second. I fucking hate him. He flicks his hair back for a second as, he looks directly across at you and sort of... We were unaware of Moon's recent actions. However, he kind of, looks across. The fact she didn't report over immediately tells us that he kind of looks directly. There might have been some form of recent development with this break-off. What I'm trying to get at is that if you want to maintain any sort of working relation with Earth Connective, the UEA for that matter, or any multi-planet alliance, I would suggest that we work out terms now. As for the matter of Miss Moon, he kind of looks at him. It seems she herself have also proven to be unreliable. Earth Connective takes no responsibilities for her. She failed to reconnect with the company after the glassing, and thus we consider her an ex-employee.
I still fail to understand why it is that you're calling me.
He stares at you and looks almost silent for a moment. The recent attacks against Earth Connective have come at a terrible time. The recent alien invasion force is making a muck of things. We want to wipe the slate clean. I'm going to send you a mission, and I want you to do it.
I don't think I caught your name.
He looks at you. Mr. Socorro.
Well, Mr. Socorro, I believe this could have been an email. And I hang up.
Oh.
Hey guys, I love our boss.
Yeah. Merkin takes a deep breath, stands up again, moves over and goes to retrieve the pad from you. As he
Hands
looks
it over, yeah.
he looks at it. He doesn't say a word as he sort of goes on over and he starts taking up an additional workload. Kind of steps on over here. Then he kind of stops and he looks almost directly at you again. Do you want me to rouse Pops?
I want you to deal with what I was dealing with before you came in. And there is a level of trepidation in the way he says that is just something that has not been heard before. And more importantly, for the first time in those 2 days, Silas relinquishes control of the company and what needs to be done at the moment. And he steps away and just goes, I will entrust this work to you for now. I need. And he just leaves. He doesn't even elaborate. And I am gonna go and make my way to Pops myself, actually.
Ooh, nice. Merkin faithfully salutes, nods his head, and diligently gets to work. You stop, you start moving out. You feel a light breeze as you walk outside, with it carrying the eternal ashfall of the volcanic activity emerging from the ground deep into Ungress territory. Oh. Okay, gang. So, just a little bit of setup. We're all sort of on the page I want us to be now, so let me just drop us here really quick. So, oh, that shouldn't be 4, that should be 5. Hang on. Is everyone visible on the map right now?
Yep.
All right, cool.
I could see the map, yeah, and there's a clock in the middle.
Yes, there we go. So, this is kind of open season right now. If anyone has ideas for scenes or stuff they want to do, you can present it. We'll do it. The main, I guess, mechanics of this session. TMG's kind of in a bad space right now. There's an alien fleet incoming, and a lot of forces have been coming down. You've been seeing the reports from UAA battle groups. Unfortunately, Twilight Mercenary Group is not going to be able to stay at this base for much longer. This is a setup for an almost full departure. All of you will be heading off soon, and the exact nature of where you'll be going, who will be with you, is up in the air. So, any scene idea? Obviously, we're here to chat RP and have people talk to each other, establish where everyone's at. If you have any sort of idea of how that can push along TMG's active, like packing up or otherwise, for example, we got to get rid of all the alcohol in the bar, so I guess we got to drink it down. Shit like that. Go for it. Submit it. If your scene has more than 2 people in it, I will give everyone in the scene a bonus experience. Just putting that out there. But that does not mean you can't do a 2-person scene. Just let me know. There's a lot of people
encouraging
here, so,
us doing... Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So, if people have time to think about it, I'll immediately follow up with Pops and Silas.
Up to you guys. I don't mind waiting if you got something in mind straight away.
I got an idea that 1 or 2 people might be able to help me out with.
Oh yeah.
Just a quick question. Who here has mech experience? Like maintenance.
Maintenance here. I was gonna be the ass and be like, I think everyone does, but no.
I mean, working on them.
Well, I do, but
that would be Bonnie and Helena and Silas.
Yeah. I was gonna do something with Helena, just because I'm technically her kid, but
Technically.
Bonnie, if you would like to assist us with this, I think I have a thing that we can like mess around with.
Yeah, I would like one with CJ and Kigu, if that's a possibility.
I'm up for it.
I would like that too.
Cool. So I'll start us off with Ace's scene. So let's see. Where do I want to put you now? What's your plan? Or yeah, I could put you guys in the bar if you want.
I was going to.
If it's mech-based stuff, I could put you in the lad bay.
Yeah. I basically want to go look at the new mech that I got printed.
Mm-hmm.
And poke around in that some.
Mm-hmm.
I figure while we're packing everything up from the hangar, we
Yeah.
might as well take a little look-see at what we got there.
Okay, I could do that. Mech discussion along with packing things sounds about fair. Alrighty, so I'll get that all set up real fast. What's up?
Sorry, I just hype.
I got an NPC I can throw in here, so I'll do that too. Hang on a second. Alrighty. There we go. Alrighty. Let me just drag us on over there now. And you know, I have another one. He gets to be real. Yay. Okay. So, to the lad bay. So then, all of you have been moving around and packing, and sort of getting stuff going. Ace, you've been here with Helena, Bonnie, and one of the new recruits named Maeve, who seems to have a bit of engineering experience too, when informed you were going to take a look at something, kind of came along as well, as she was looking across. However, practically, there's been a lot of moving too. Bonnie, Mal takes a step over, reaches across the way, and just pulls a box straight off of the security line there, and just drags it back over this way. You've been keeping an eye on him. He hasn't been weird at all, actually, since he came back, but he just said some things. He's chipper. There seems to be more emotion and energy coming out of him than you're used to, even though he himself doesn't seem to have changed much in terms of attitude and the way he is.
I think that in a way has let a big weight off of Bonnie's chest. She's been confused for the past couple days, and at least this is not an active concern for her.
Yeah. Alrighty. Cool. So, as you set that up, though, if you want to in character bring up, what are we doing today, Ace?
Ace has been quiet the last few days. Following the radio broadcast, a message came through from Dufour. It was the casualty list of Monte Rosa from the last operation. Between those two, Ace has kind of been mulling over everything and
Yeah, you saw a
sitting down.
You saw a familiar name on one of those.
Yeah, I did. But
No.
this
I'm gonna rub it in.
Are you? Are you?
When you
Hit
were
me, coward!
when you were looking at battle reports, you had noticed on that list one was mentioned as Norden. Brought you back. Norden used to be in Monte Rosa, one of your right hands. Well, you were his left hand. It was an equal sort of arrangement. He was new with you, and you'd both run along and do missions together all crazy like. You're both the close and personal type, so you'd often find yourself fighting the same battles in the same places. Of all the Monte Rosa members that were your friends that were left, he was the only one. And now, it seems that number's finally down to 0, Ace. I want you to take 3 stress for me. 3 stress! Take 3!
The pain.
You can take mental note of it if you want, but yeah.
Sky Voice, where am I fucking putting my stress?
That's in your compound. I'll just take a note of it independently right now.
Yeah,
No
go
worries
for
about
it.
Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't help. But today Ace is like, it's weird. they have the kind of look on their face whenever they're trying to put something together or work at one of their puzzles. They've got their hand in their chin, kind of thinking, and all at once they shoot their gaze over to this one right here. You. What was your name again?
Maeve. It's nice to meet you.
Maeve. Nice to meet you too, Mace. Where did you work prior to this?
I worked at well, she kind of thinks, well, I sort of just worked at a car manufacturer place prior, and then I got wrapped into the refugees and did some refugee work, but this is the first real job I've had in a month or two. Time flies.
Sky Voice, I'm gonna read her face and her body language and the way she's speaking. How honest is she being?
Here, let me take a look here. Read a situation for me. Read a situation like a book.
Read a book.
Bonk. Oh, fuck.
Oh, damn. All right.
Ace,
I'm telling you everything about her. Well, just really as you can tell. You asked that question, and you sort of almost immediately noticed by her response. Her back is rigid, she's standing upright and uptight, and she's staring at you with a prim uniform and otherwise. She's the fresh recruit baby you've seen in every mercenary company that you've ever encountered. She is someone who right now is out of her element, confused, and unfortunately a little too innocent about the actions and realities of mercenary life. You doubt she's told a lie to you at all. In fact, you would consider her in some ways to be, what's a good word for it? She's a wallflower. That's a good way to put it.
Okay. You can rest easy. No, this must be all confusing for you, but I'm afraid that if what I think is the case, and if what I called you all here today for is anything what I think it is, you're going to be even more confused. They turned the direction to Bonnie and Helena. Okay, so there's a reason I called you two here in particular. I trust that you caught SETI's broadcast over the net, correct?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I heard it.
I skimmed it, yeah.
Just a drive from her cigar. He shoots you a look like that kid at the PTA, just like, Mom, really? Come on.
There's been a lot happening, so Mommy's been having a few drinks.
I don't blame you for that. There's actually
Bonnie looks over at the mommy comment. It's like, huh?
Huh? I'm with my kids.
yeah, come on.
So, I wanted to get... There's been a lot going on lately, and it seems as though the other companies are just as confused as we are, which, in this particular instance, gives us a little bit of an advantage. They kind of, like, move forward and lean up on the console. Before SETI left on that mission, she printed for me a mech. One that I hadn't seen before, and one that performed similar to what I'm used to. But, if that thing is what... Excuse you, cat. Excuse you.
We gotta get rid of these fucking cats. I keep telling you, they can't be in here.
All the strays.
Don't worry, I have my cat stomper ready.
No, whoa.
Whoa, hey, whoa.
I'll kill you.
Wait.
We have an airlock for a reason. It's humane.
Please pushes the bridge of their nose on the point. Thankfully, currently, that mech is kind of being overlooked. But if it's the last thing she left us, knowing SETI, I wouldn't be surprised if she left something inside of it. Something, I don't know, to explain what's going on. And I want to get to it before the higher ups get a hold of it, especially if it's
Okay.
something that will require our immediate action.
Yeah. That's
Oh.
reasonable. I mean,
All right.
yeah, well, gestures. Let her
Mal
up.
turns
Oh,
over,
Maeve, remember
gets
we know
off
where
the
you
light.
sleep.
What?
We all sleep in the same
Say
building,
that to
Ace.
Yeah, that's the
Maeve,
point.
we're all really high-strung. We're not always like this.
Okay.
Not frequently.
right.
Yeah, so,
I'll just
if you-
let
if
you do
you
your
need-
magic then.
yeah, if you need a little sip of something or a cigar, just let me know.
I'm good. I'm fine.
Respectable.
Bonnie,
Mhm.
gonna start going at that terminal. You start
Yep.
looking through this data, and you do find this printed. You do find this mech on file that was been left for you. It seems to be a modification of a Commons license. Just some. It's shifted up a bit. It seems to have some Mars parts mixed with some Lad parts. It's pretty interesting.
Okay.
You imagine that it probably took the work of some type of mech smith, someone who was pretty good at the job. Probably wasn't designed by SETI herself, but someone else, a contact of some kind. So, as you go to printing, you click to life and the machine begins construction. As the printing process goes through, it takes a bit. You all get a bit more things packed up from the actual under counter area, and eventually the mech pops out. And you stare directly at it. It seems to be equipped with some type of energy blade, a shield. It seems to stand lithe, sort of taking from the Mars, but also seems to be less armored.
Okay.
It's an interesting machine. And as you look at it, though, you also make me a hacker fix roll.
All right.
You're pretty good at this.
Let me roll. And you know what? I'm gonna use Metal Bloom, so I can't roll less than a fucking... What is it? Anything lower than a 9 is a 10. Because why not?
Let's
Where
see.
is...
I can click it for you.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Perfect. Okay, cool.
Nice.
So, you look inside of this mech's database, essentially, and there does actually seem to be something that's been listed in there for you. You find a few empty, I guess, directories, or references to files that are never used in the design. It does seem like inside there is a well-kept secret, but not too well-kept. If you were looking for it, you'd find it. It's a message, along with some coordinates and some information.
Oh.
You can pop it up, and thank you, Jay, for coming out on a night when you're not here, because there's a message and you get to read it, so we don't have to do text.
Yeah.
A message
Also,
broadcast to you. Yeah?
out of character, it is delightful that you brought these two here specifically because they are directly mentioned by name. You read my mind.
Yeah, make
This
sure
is
that
extremely lovely.
make sure that bitch Helena doesn't hear about this. Oh, okay.
Okay. Seti's voice flares to life. A long crackle sort of accompanying it. You can tell that this was recorded actually before everything went down, likely before you guys went on the rescue mission. You hear the thump and like sort of distortion like through the air of actually movement. It seems like she recorded it on the move. To Ace. By now, you've probably heard the radio broadcast. If not, please disregard the remainder of this message and treat it as a wild hallucination. If so, wild, huh? Sorry to put you in the company of terrorists again. No small amount of heat is gonna fall down on TMG because of this, but I believe we did the right thing. I saw what people like you, Helena and Bonnie were doing for TMG. Saw one of the potential roots it could have grown into. I couldn't find a way to believe in that future. Not sure what a family is, and home is the furthest thing from my mind. So I did something desperate to try to create a future where even someone like me could live. So I'm trusting you with the dream I couldn't follow. How you use it is entirely up to you. Find a future I couldn't. On that frame is a self-managing program for the largest information network on the planet. Its name is Dead End. It's an organization I created to try to catch people that fell between the cracks, who had nowhere else to go. It's yours now. Catch them like you caught me. The war is only going to get more chaotic, and there are only going to be more people hurt by what happens. TMG was supposed to be a place for people with nowhere else to go. I've been operating it since we started as TMG, and it's grown big. No reason to take one more thing that's meant to help people down with me. It stays clean. Well, it stays clean, but not necessarily squeaky clean. Bonnie and Elena have great hearts and are great people. Question for you is, if they want to dive into the underworld along with you. I leave that decision ultimately up to you and them. And Farah's a badass, and her heart's in the right place. I know a lot of people don't see it, but she's one of the few people with her head screwed on straight. You can absolutely trust her. I'm starting to run personnel again. This isn't my responsibility anymore. You hear a click on the other side. Dead End has helped a lot of people get out from under the UEA by less than legal means. Law won't always protect prisoners, people with records, rogues, or insurgents. Doesn't mean they shouldn't still be cared for. It couldn't be that, and not for me, but if anyone could make it a place like this, I'm sorry, I'm getting sappy. When next we meet, I want to see what you've built. Not as a follower, not as a merc, not as somebody else's hired gun. I want to see what you've created with your own hands. I want to see if that's a home that can fit even someone like me. SETI. The line goes dead.
Bonnie, the message looks like it's about to auto-repeat, but you quickly pause it.
Yeah, she pauses it and she just like sort of rests her hand in her head in her hands, like, "You idiot." But that's you.
God
Okay.
damn it.
I'm beginning to think I should have skimmed more of that previous message.
Will have I ever told you that you're really funny?
Oh man.
Just takes
Bonnie
a long
whirls
drag
back
from her
in the
cigar.
chair. Dead End. I didn't think that she made that. But it's all here.
Ace moves to the console to take a look at it. Like, what is everybody looking at here?
Define everyone for me.
Like, Helena, Ace, Bonnie, like, Dead End was described, but like,
okay.
what
So you want to
is
see
the
what
full
practically?
extent?
So okay,
Yeah,
the
what
full
is the
extent.
full extent
You
of-
notice on this sheet there is a listing of different independent, basically information brokers and other types of underground contacts. It's a lot of people who know things, not even all specifically inside of that group. There are sub members of other factions and things like that, but generally people you can talk to and figure out
Do I recognize
that
any
is.
name on there?
You do recognize a few of them. In fact, Ace, you've gone to some of these people before when you've gone running the streets looking for information.
Oh. Okay. Oh boy.
Maeve curious and she sort of scoots up and starts looking at the screen a bit more.
Yeah, Bonnie makes space for them. Oh. Okay. She tries to like breathe. Now what do we do? This is so much. Okay. We should. Who do we tell? I want to tell everyone.
We can't.
Well,
Yeah.
Bonnie looks to the four of them. I've been reading over the last few operations and something doesn't sit right with me. Asher getting sent on that, what is essentially a slave retrieval mission that he decided to take and turn into a liberation mission. Bonnie being an Earth Collective the whole time.
Moon being an
Oh,
Earth Connect.
Moon.
But
Moon being-
Bonnie
Oh,
takes
right.
off the
God
glasses.
damn it! Another plot twist.
Helena, Helena holsters her gun. Oh, yeah.
Bonnie. God damn it! I almost did it again. Moon being an Earth Collective the whole time. The fact that Earth Collective itself is on our back. I mean, God. The arrest of SETI in particular, after this, they point to the mech before them, comes to fruition, something doesn't sit right. And the fact that Earth Collective is still in our ear doesn't bode well for me. We can't trust them, and the more people we tell, the better chance they have of figuring it out. And I don't...
What do we do? We have to use it. We did all that to give it to us.
We do. It's just a matter of using it. Something like this could get us out of this corner that we've been backed into.
That's a little
But-
ironic considering the name.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the point. It's for people who've been backed into a dead end. But we do have to use it. But no matter what happens, we cannot let this thing get into the hands of people like Earth Collective.
No, obviously.
That sounds bad. I'll admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting when you asked for a mech checkup.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that you are who you are is actually more of a comfort than it is a concern. If
Oh,
that alleviates your fears any.
thanks. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bonnie,
sorry.
It does. Okay.
I was gonna say, sorry, sweetheart. It's a rough first day for you.
Is
Mel
this
looms.
is this system tied directly to what's the word I'm looking for? Is Dead End itself like integrated into the mech itself, or is it a program that can be distributed to the rest of the mechs in TMG?
Well, as a program, it could be copied. So it's information you could give to others, or you could keep it in this one alone. That's up to you. After all, you're the one in charge now.
For now, Helena, Bonnie, copy this into yours and Helena's frames. That way, we at least have.
I have a frame too, if you want.
Yeah, I mean, might as well, right? We should.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna be packing up. We should get as much as we can out of here.
Right, keep it there. If you can, God, we need some sort of fail-safe, but maybe that's for something later. For
Bonnie
now,
looks
the fact.
over at Mel and
Mel
goes,
lowers his hand
what do you
down.
need?
You need to put the thing in me, correct?
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Cocks an eyebrow. You know, Bon, I've been meaning to talk to you about this robot.
What?
Everything good? I haven't seen you in a while, and
Yeah. Mel's all right. He's just feeling a little odd after.
Bonnie is my friend.
no,
We're
I get
friends.
I get that. But while Mel, nice to meet you.
It is nice to meet you too. We have been acquainted, but not personally. I am
Yeah.
an experimental AI unit. It is a pleasure to formally make your acquaintance.
Yeah.
I need to introduce you to everyone else too.
I'm
This
very
is something
excited.
That's no. I like it.
It is something I comprehended once I gained contact with outside sources inside of my code, that I have never once made a secondary friend.
Yeah, that's. She does start like scratching her chin.
It's a new experience. I'm very excited.
Steps up and begins to hook things into his hand. I wonder what they did to you.
They didn't do anything to me. He kind of looks. He kind of looked. Repairs were made to some of my systems, and I simply feel fine.
Huh.
That's. I mean.
You
I
want to
never
run
knew what
some
my dad was working on.
diagnostics?
I have been. I can't understand half of it. My dad was working on something, and I don't even know who authorized it. I'm struggling to understand even half of what he is. I can understand artificial intelligence, but Mal isn't that.
He kind of looks over at both of you. It is an interesting topic, but probably not one to worry about now. I don't want to take your attention away from the important information that has been revealed.
Yeah. She does turn back to Ace and goes, I think we should decide who in the company we're going to tell. I know that it's going to be difficult, but we can't do anything with this by ourselves. We're going to have to pull people in.
Right.
We're going to need help. And if we can't trust our group, I understand not trusting the technology, but if we can't trust our people, we can't trust anything.
We need a way to... I agree, but we do need a way to let them in on this.
We can just
We need
talk.
a plan.
Yeah, talking's good. I don't really know anyone, so I couldn't really talk for you, but I mean...
I don't like that that company is still lingering around us.
We can't do anything about it. That Earth Connective is so large, we're not even on the scale of even trying to combat them. We can skirt around them, but we can't go head to head.
Here's my brain space, and you can agree with it, disagree with it, whatever. I don't get a final say in any of this. Considering recent events with Moon alone, I think we need to be as honest as possible. If we start hiding shit, we're fucked. Let's be real.
That's a good point.
We are already frayed as hell at this point. While this is information that might make people mad, if we hide this, it's not good.
Yeah. Right. There's no telling where we're going to end up from here. Having this be a connecting thread between all of us could work in our favor. Maybe mend some of those frayed ends.
Bonnie does say, I know it wasn't the style as SETI and Duck and all that, but I think the more things we keep secret, the more tools we have for them to work against us.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If they work on blackmail and any sort of knives that they can stab us in the dark.
And besides, I think we're all thinking of the person that might be maddest, Silas, which don't worry, I can handle him. I
think if Silas found out that we were keeping this from him, he would execute us on the spot.
He would execute us and or implode. I don't know which one. He might take us with him.
Which one do you think he would do first?
I don't plan on taking.
He would make.
Well, no, an implosion. It's different.
I don't know. I passed him in the hall yesterday, and the look through his mask, I felt like I was being stabbed. I think he'd probably explode and just take you with him.
Well,
it's kind of his gimmick, but I feel like, considering the position we're in, Silas might be more interested in this, because it's resources. It's something that can help us. Not to mention, if he does get mad, we can blame SETI. This was literally thrown at us. We were not prepared for this at all. She's not here to get yelled at. So, literally, it's a perfect scapegoat. It's totally fine.
All right. So we're all in agreement that we should tell. Whatever we do, let's do it before we all get... Let's let's not let the sun go down on this one.
Your
No.
your
Let's
do it
console
before
comes
the end of
alive,
the night.
Mal. Or Bonnie is speaking up. Yeah, could you stop fucking wasting time in the loading bay? God damn it. Move on, okay?
Just narrows my eyes.
Who the fuck is this?
Who? Bonnie?
This is
Did you do
I don't know
this?
what. I don't think I did. I think she starts to check out the files to see.
Why is this bitch different every time she shows up?
I feel like she should have some sort of theme accompanying her. I don't. Is she lost? I don't.
Can we tell who lost tempered with Aka?
Yeah, make me a hacker fix.
All right. Where is my?
I can help you too if this goes south.
I can get no lower than a.
Oh no, this is actually pretty simple. You see, you were expecting this be some kind of a continued AI that emerges out, maybe for continued guidance. Maybe this is the automated system left inside. No, they didn't change Archon at all before they left. In fact, elsewhere, you see a single identifier pop up. Spoiler, with an emoticon flashing on the screen is visible right in front of you, and with that you just stare off. He's like, excuse me, loading bay? Go? Come on? Are you supposed to be like working or something?
What does it matter to you? You don't even exist.
We are working. Fuck you.
Oh my god. I am a spec in a computer program. I'm as real as paint on a wall. Go fuck yourself. Just get to work.
Can you like? Can you right click, open sound volume mixer, and just turn her down? For
Listen, we're already on the desktop. The trash cans. Just drag her to the trash can. We don't need her anymore.
You spend the rest of this specific period just shouting and trying to delete this malware that refused to leave your computer. Oh, congratulations, that's one tick down. Oh god. So let me just ask, when do you want that scene taking place, by the way? I could see that happening a little bit earlier than some of the other stuff.
Yeah,
just to give more time for you guys to move around.
That sounds good.
Alrighty, cool. So, alrighty. So who wants to go next? Who's got me next? I think some other people got some ideas down there.
I don't mean to go soon after for no reason,
Mhm.
but I mainly want to do the pop scene because otherwise Silas is just not going to be in a place to be in other scenes.
That's fair. That's fair. Let's do that then. All right.
I want to make the blacked out character select, colored so that I can actually be in scenes.
That's fair. That's fair. Here, let me I'm gonna hit you once though before then, but don't worry, it'll be quick.
Why'd you do that? How'd you do that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You try again. Okay. All right. Let me know if all the cameras exist in this scene. If you can't see anything, just say. But dorms. I'll drag us on over to where you're coming in from, Silas.
Mm-hmm.
You walk across the main area there, pushing away, opening the door, and stepping on inside. And almost immediately, you almost bump into someone who seems to be preparing to head outside yourself. And she just kind of stops for a moment, and you stop for a moment.
Shit.
What?
Nothing. Everything all right? No, of course not.
Yeah, there is a silence and and he just goes he actually puts his hand on your shoulder as you move past. You have been dancing around me since we got back.
I just didn't want to get in the way of your brooding. You're absolutely right. Spoiler has just been hiding in her room, and you just caught her on her way out to smoke some cigarettes.
Can I make a roll to see if I pick up on that? Like the fact that she
Yeah.
is avoiding
do
that
it.
she has been hiding.
Read a situation would be perfect for that. I would make a roll for you.
Yeah, there we go.
You picked it up all right.
She's not hiding.
I don't know why it rolled twice. That was weird.
That's because I rolled it too, because I was going to roll
Oh,
for you.
right.
But you found it. You're good. Either way,
Yeah.
that wins.
He takes a second and just goes, I know what I said before you entered the cockpit when we escaped. To put it mildly, you are the least of my troubles right now.
And
You
that's
see-
good to
Yeah, go ahead.
hear. Great to hear.
Do you like have the pack of cigarettes like in your hand?
Yeah.
You see him kind of look down to it, like even you don't have to watch his eyes, you just see his head tilt down to look at it, and he just goes, if you're about to smoke, I would appreciate being around the smell right now, to be honest.
Sure. I haven't had anybody to smoke with for a bit, so I wouldn't mind the company. All I've been doing is fiddling around with Arca-chan, honestly.
Oh, you're behind that.
Yeah, isn't she sick now?
I'll
And
admit I like.
she'll
I'll
step
admit.
outside and expect you to follow her.
He comes through and goes, I will admit I do prefer her this way.
Oh yeah? Why is that?
He kind of goes to lead around the corner, which I imagine is like prime smoke spot.
Smoke spot.
Yeah. There are some stubs on the ground already, actually. It's not like any more ash will hurt the environment now.
She's less corporate.
Yeah, I could see that. Look. I'm sorry about saying your name back there in the cockpit. Try not to make a habit out of it.
Why? It's just my name.
Saying somebody's name implies familiarity. And I'm not really in the business of getting too familiar with people. But I mean what I said. I really appreciate you saving me back there. I'm used to getting left behind.
For the first time in these 2 days, Silas hears something and feels something other than anger. And he just goes, I meant what I said. I don't leave people behind. No, you go ahead.
She kind of leans against the wall and she takes a long drag of the cigarette. She's like, want to know my tragic backstory?
He can't help but laugh a little. He just goes, what, do you have it written?
No. But it's high time I told somebody. She laughs.
Why me?
You don't look like a snitch. You don't like corporate people.
I'm not so sure. No, you go ahead. I need to not be inside my own head for at least 5 minutes.
I would offer you a cigarette, but I don't know how it all works in there.
Oh, that's a question.
Yeah.
Let me think here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Silas looks at you, and he, for a brief moment, sees a flash of somebody he used to know. The person who first offered him a cigarette. And he can't help but soften. And you are... I don't know how you would feel, but you watch as his hands go up to his helmet. You hear the hiss of the pneumatics and the folding plates on the top of the head click down. And he grabs the front of it and he removes his helmet.
Oh!
You notice
Well,
this...
I guess now I have to open up.
You notice this strange type of scar that doesn't seem to be a burn, but some type of metallic, chemical, destructive, like, skin damage that seems to spread across and sort of get into the eye a little bit. All the same, he seems well-groomed and taken care of, but Silas, on the other hand, taking off your helmet fills your chest, even momentarily, almost inbuilt into anyone who comes by 9. You can't kick the helmet, what's it, the dehelmeting anxiety? It's nothing to do with personage or being perceived. It's all due to bacteria. Exposed to air on Earth 3, outside for one. It gets you for a moment, even though you're well aware that you have all the injections and anything you need in order to safely breathe the air. Still, deep down, there's something in the training and alarms and everything in your education that tells you that this is not the best thing to do, not the wisest thing to do, but you did it anyways.
And as part of coping with that anxiety, he reaches for the cigarette to breathe air more similar to what he's used to on By 9. And
She
rather
lights it
than
for him.
he lets you. You see that he'd pulled out a long match already, but he puts it away.
So, I had a mom. Don't really remember her. She kind of just left one day. Don't know if she died or just left. It was kind of just me for a while. And then I met up with the gang, the old gang. Bunch of other street kids. But I was the one that had a place because my mom died, so we all kind of fell in, piled up in my place. We were really close. One of them I really liked. Got me into 3D printing. We started running like a little racket in town. But the whole time, I just really wanted to get off this rock.
I know more than you know. I know that experience.
Yeah?
I'm almost... Yeah. He takes a second, as if he almost suddenly realizes who he's actually speaking with right now, and takes another drag from the cigarette and just goes, 5 minutes ago, I fucking humiliated myself. Why is this? Why is this what's... Why is this what's the only thing that feels real throughout all of this?
Probably because I'm the realest person in the building. She smiles.
I can't help but feel we might have known each other if we'd been on the same planet when we were young.
What was your planet like?
Well, to say it was awful is obvious. It doesn't exactly have the best reputation, but harrowing is probably a more accurate way to put it. Daily life there just grinds you down. It's like sifting through garbage only to occasionally find an unopened bottle of expired beer. Some old tech that maybe works, but you gotta cut your hands to get through it.
But you got off.
Yeah. But I only got off because I started playing their game.
I guess that's my problem. We started running our little rackets, and eventually the group got in trouble. And, I ended up being the fall guy. So I never did get to leave this rock. I guess in a way, Dakota Victory died that day, and that's when Spoiler was born.
Dakota Victory.
Yeah, keep it on the low. I'm not going to tell everybody what you look like. Don't go telling everybody my name.
The smallest smirk crosses his face. And he goes, "Been a while since I've had an innocuous secret between two people. I'll happily keep it. Dakota."
She puts a finger up to her mouth and smiles.
Did anyone else die besides you?
Well, the boys all found their way into nice, cushy military jobs, which is kind of why I was a little bit knowledgeable about where we were looking before we got captured. If you were wondering if I knew anything about the aliens, I did have a little bit of a resource, but it was kind of all in service of finding them.
You say that, and oh boy, yeah, no, if you're loyal to people, that's just like the fucking kryptonite for Silas. And he just goes, "I believe I misjudged you, Dakota."
Well, what'd you think about me before? And what about now? I'm interested.
I thought you were out for yourself to get what you could and get out. And I thought you were all too much about pleasure and nothing about going through a little pain to get something worthwhile. I thought you were a hedonist, and I thought you were stupid.
That's probably fair. But what about now?
Now I think you remind me of someone I used to know.
And what did you think of them?
We aren't there yet.
We'll get there. Especially if you get me off this rock one day.
I've been thinking about that. We're leaving anyway. Maybe we should just leave the planet.
I would like nothing more. Where do you have in mind?
Thought I might go back to my roots.
You did
As
talk
much
it up
as-
really nice.
That place is hell, but unfortunately, its fires can be hot enough to forge something worthwhile every now and then.
Anywhere's got to be better than here.
At that, he takes the final drag of the cigarette, stamps it out, puts the helmet back on.
Nice smoking with you, Silas.
Thank you, Dakota, for reminding me of who I used to be.
Silas, you still got to go talk to Pops. He's down the hall and to the right, first door to the left after you turn.
Down the hole.
Spoiler, you just gonna chill out there for longer?
Yeah, I don't have anywhere to be.
Fair. Oh, no, down the hall straight. Sorry, this way. Yeah.
Right, gotcha. Me, Savvy, does not know this, but Silas does.
Yes, Silas does, yes.
This
Even I
door?
get lost in the labyrinth from time to time. That's the bathroom. A little further. You know what? I'll point you at
He
it.
confidently
You go down
keeps
here?
walking.
Yes,
knowing
he
exactly
confidently
where he's
keeps
going.
walking, knowing exactly where he's going. And he confidently knows he needs to go into this door right here.
Excellent.
All right. You step up. Do you knock or just walk in?
He knocks.
Come on in. The voice speaks across. You notice Pops is sitting with a cup of coffee. He's organizing some stuff. You step on in. You notice a few peculiarities, like a shotgun on his stove, a nice cabinet of liquor, and as you kind of step on in, here, hang on. He gets up, steps off the chair as if he's offering for you to take a seat instead there.
No, don't sacrifice your comfort for my sake.
He kind of moves up, sits down again. Well, suit yourself. Well, there's a stool right there.
Silas takes a moment to almost feeling more. I think before seeing spoiler outside, I think he would have just stormed in, but this time around, he almost feeling more like down to earth, kind of takes a second to really kind of take in what this place looks like and the idiosyncrasies that are present before he before he steps up. Can I I'm curious, is this gun like well looked after, the shotgun?
It seems to be, yes. In fact, you notice you assumed it was a combat weapon, but actually it seems to be some type of hunting shotgun.
Ah.
Yeah.
He just makes note of that and then sits down.
Pops kind of turns on over. I left it running dry for a while now. He seems to be collecting some things together. I had meant to come on out today and do my damn job.
I could have asked you. I could have bothered you. I could have messaged you. I could have done any number of things. I didn't want to.
He sighs as he, You're damn right about that. I didn't want to either. You know, I think today I cried longer than I did when the whole thing happened. That surprised me. I think it's because I didn't get everything out. Had enough crutches, enough purpose. I think failing real bad made me realize just how much we screwed up. He puts down the piece of paper, takes a sip of the coffee again, and kind of rubs his brows. You know, or you can assume that he's just been in here wallowing. But all the same, it doesn't seem like he has much more sleep than you right now. You're a strong man, Silas. He...
No.
mhm.
No, it's become eminently clear to me lately that I am not.
He just kind of lets you sit. You want to talk to him, so he's just gonna kind of sit across from you.
May I call you Sonny?
That you can. He kind of thinks about that for a bit. Well, Silas, I know it. Can't know how the last couple of days have been for you. Crazy to me that you'd look at yourself and not think you were strong. But I guess I can get it. You know, when I had my first kid, I didn't know what the hell to do. If you'll excuse an old man's story, he kind of looks over at you and he's just like, first kid I had, she was a wild one. Of all my kids, they all grew up angels, but I think she grew up troublesome. Had a lot of trouble with dealing with a baby girl. Didn't really do a great job of it. After all, I was a bit of a rough and tumble guy down deep south. And coming on up, I had a lot of deficiencies. Sure, I was tough. Well, back then, you should see me. I could lift a damn tree trunk. But I had a lot of other deficiencies just because of my background. Rough place. I'm sure you know what that's like.
Too well, yes.
There seems to be a bit of sorrow on his face. Read me a situation.
Mm-hmm. Come on. There we go. Oh.
Okay. There's something there, but of course, he kind of leaves it be and instead launches back into his old story. Well, she and I got in fights all the time, because she was wild. She didn't fully understand that endangering herself and doing all this stuff got her family all worried and put a lot of other people at risk sometimes. But when she went off to join the Naval Academy, I was furious. I'm not a big government guy. Never have been. Not a big corporate fan. But I think I only realized that when she was finally happy, when she was doing her own stuff. Sent me a letter, almost bragging about how happy and sure she was and finding purpose in her life. I realized it wasn't really strength I was lacking. I wasn't just a weak father. It was just a little bit insensitive. I had trouble seeing other people for who they were and seeing the mistakes they made as anything more than foolish, I guess. People lash out sometimes. It takes a little more than strength to survive in this world, as much as the world itself wants to make you think otherwise. You can't use strength to rule over other people. They'll hold it over you for the rest of their life. So maybe, he
Silas shifts. Silas shifts a little uncomfortably in his seat as Sonny says that.
I think you're a stronger leader than me. That's always because I just try not to be so strong nowadays. I like being able to listen to people. Sometimes that's what they need too, you know. He kind of finishes up the coffee.
Sonny. These last 2 days have been harrowing. I've never felt less in control of my life. I'll be honest, I haven't known how I've felt about any of this. All I can think about is every sign I should have noticed, every thing that I did wrong, every instance where I elected to ignore anyone, Moon, yourself. I know these things. I know how to find this information if I need to. I've been through the worst of it. I've been through the red tape. I've learned how to navigate it. If I just run a check on Moon. But I didn't. Because I just assumed. And I shifted all my blame, my distaste with everything that was happening to you, Sonny.
He shifts his head down a little bit. I'm afraid I can't help you there. I did the same thing, but from the other angle. Try to listen to people too much, you just believe all their lies. Maybe we both have something to learn about that, because I think I did grow to really disrespect you a lot. Unfortunate, really.
I don't think it's... I think I've started to slowly realize lately that it wasn't Moon's betrayal that crumbled all of our best laid plans around us. It was the fact that we I believed for the longest time that I knew best. And all the evidence points to the fact that I am lacking in places that I thought I used to be strong. And Sonny, I forgot that the only reason people follow a leader is because they are loyal, and I forgot that the reason anyone is loyal is not because they prove themselves capable, but because they care. I still don't fully believe that you are capable in a lot of ways, but I do believe that you care, Sonny. In places where I can't. In places where I have found myself more jaded than I really thought I was.
Pop's kind of like, looks over. Well, hey, you're a young guy. Come on, you got time to learn. We always fail something on our first attempt, in the small ways. He gave a nice speech, saved my ass in the funeral. Maybe it's just time to pull ourselves up and give it another go, you know? After all, baby girl's probably still out there somewhere. So, can't go giving up yet. He kind of scoots up. I was just gonna finish up my coffee first. He kind of sits up and takes a look at you. And he sort of puts out his hand. The mechanics of his exosuit kind of creaking as it pushes a body along under the weight of gravity.
He looks at his hand and just takes a second and goes, Sonny, I don't know how much longer we'll be able to remain here in general. But I want to make it clear that when I shake your hand now, it is with the understanding that we do what's best for these people. Together.
You're talking to the premier union boss of Arca. You bet your ass I'm gonna do what I've been doing for the past 20 years. He grips your hand tightly, the exoskeleton allowing himself to cheat slightly as he squeezes that hand tight around.
He squeezes back as hard as he can as well. His own armor being slightly powered in its own right. And there is a creaking that follows it as if to emphasize the strength of this bond that has been created.
So then, guess we got some troops to corral, huh?
And plans to make.
Damn straight. All right, well, I'll leave a lot of the big practical movement plans to you. I'm gonna have to try to see if everyone can get all organized and we get all our inspect together. After all, before Moon came to the company, that was my job too, so I've got some logistics experience. I work on a nice big speech too. He gives you a big toothy grin.
Thank you.
Thank you too, Silas. All right. Fucking awesome. Good shit, Savvy.
Thank you. And I will now relinquish the seeds to everyone else.
Yes! Oh, man. Congratulations, another ticks there. So, okay. Let me see next. Let me see who's next here. What do we got?
Angra wanted to do something with, I think, Lunar and Bonnie, I think. And then also, Carl wanted to do something with Farah and Spoiler, potentially, and anyone who probably wants to raid the bar, I think. Right, Carl?
Yeah. We'll take a quick little, I'll do that, the next scene, and then I have an idea for a final scene. If everyone's good with that. Okay, so
Sure.
We're gonna do the bar first. So let me grab anyone who wants to go to the bar. Feel free. Primary people at the bar to start that Carl invited. Get your asses over there. Let me just put us here now. Alrighty. Delete those. Alright, so bar time. Let me drag us down here and place a camera. Okay, bam. Look, it's real. The bar is real.
Whoa. The map hasn't loaded for
Just
me.
in time to leave it forever.
That's weird. The map isn't.
Yeah.
It's just a gray void for me.
Oh, damn. Try refreshing.
Yeah. Let me.
Because you don't get to drink.
Let me refresh.
You're not 21.
Or here, let me try to ping first. Oh, yeah, no, you're gray void.
Yeah, it's just a gray void. Let me refresh. That's fine.
Sure. So let me see. We're going to grab Grant. Grant first. Let's see. Bam. And first off, who do you want to grab too, Grant?
I mean, whoever hasn't had a scene yet, so I think Lunar would probably be at the bar, right? Lunar and Farah.
Yeah, he could be there before he get dragged off.
Sure,
I like
that'll be the
that.
first time I met Farah.
Yes, finally. Oh, it's been so fucking long. I've been waiting, dude. Okay, so let me pop down a Farah. I'll pop down.
There
a
we
dog.
go. It's loaded.
All right.
And I
popped.
Spoiler is probably here too, but she can come in a bit if she wants. Doesn't matter. Deal.
I'll
Up to you.
let you
Yeah,
come in whenever you want.
I'm good. Yeah, I can come.
Sure, yeah. Make you unsmall really quick.
Is this TMG bar or?
Yes, this is the TMG bar. See, this is where Xana's room was, and you hauled it out for a bar. This is the Xana Cabana.
Oh,
Yes. The dedicated to Xana Cabana.
Yes. Well known for being a drinker.
The wild party animal, Xana.
Wild party animal. We assume we don't know. So, Grant, are you doing the drinks?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I think he was initially here to get his own stuff that he had stashed, and other people came in, so he just started making them.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say you two came in first, and spoiler, you can come in a little bit. Just kind of come in whenever you want, spoiler. You know.
I'll come when I'm ready, okay?
Yeah, of course.
It's all about the build-up, spoiler.
Good build.
So then. Grant,
Yeah.
you pull out a few bottles and put them down in front of you. Lunar, what are you drinking?
Do you have rubbing alcohol?
Yeah, better than rubbing alcohol. And stronger.
I've been toying with the idea of gasoline, but I don't know if people will like it.
So what I'm hearing is I should wing it for you. And
I do need to bulk up on the calories.
Planning on going back out in the cold?
I've just been so cold all the time. I don't know why. Usually not like this. You'd see him sipping. It's just... He kind of like shows and shakes at you. It doesn't do anything. So yeah, I'm here for something strong. You'll take care of me. I've seen you take care of other people. Or at least I've heard. You get finger gun.
Gasoline will keep you warm.
For the rest of your life. You get a slow turn.
Farrah, how about you?
Start me off with something fruity and girly. It's not really starting me off. I've been pre-gaming.
I was gonna make something just like that for Lunar. Give me one moment. He starts making Long Islands for the both of them.
You put two down, push them across this sort of metal slate bar, sort of quickly assembled as you sort of push it off to the two of you. And I don't think either of you are drinking your first drink of the day, but all the same, Grant, you make them good. You've had a lot of experience all over the place. And so you're a practiced bartender, and so this place has sort of been like a nice respite for you to just sort of go and relax from time to time.
After Lunar takes a sip, he's like, oh, wow. He kind of gives you a wide-eyed look. This is great. And then he dumps the rest of his stim into it. This is good. No, you made it perfect. Hats off. Hair off?
You getting a stand for that? You know, someone remixing your mix?
Hey, it's not my... I didn't make the recipe. He can enhance it however he wants.
Remixes can be some of the best part. All along the Watchtower. Have you ever heard old burst music? I gotta test you. I haven't seen you around.
Oh yeah, I seen you out of the corner of my eye a couple times, but I admit I was a little afraid to say hello.
Well, you were afraid of this puppy dog?
I'm more afraid of his reputation.
That's good. Don't make the leg go. Stop it.
No promises.
This one, yeah.
Good to meet you. Finally.
Lunar.
You don't seem as out there as they say.
Lunar puts a hand out. Nice to meet you too.
I shake a ball.
Good. Farrah.
Hey, you got it.
Oh, yes. Nice. First try. The fact that you're still alive, I'm loving it. Loving everything that's still alive, right?
Me too. It's what I do best, so.
I just don't know where everyone's kind of going headwise. It's a little confusing. Physical abandonment is a little bit easier to deal with, you know?
The energy sure has been off around here lately, huh?
Tell me about it. Figure this is a good last hurrah for us, though.
Last hurrah? You're stopping after this?
Grant pauses and takes a sip of his bourbon. Well, I mean, I was under the impression the company's falling apart, and I was only here on Merc work anyway. On Merc work, I guess. Breaking me out of that prison.
Fair.
Figure there's not much use for me around here anymore.
Oh, what you gonna do then? This kind of thing is Feels like this kind of job is the kind you fall into and then never climb out of.
Oh, I'm never one to stick around one place too long. Who knows where the long and winding road will take me? Preferably somewhere with a little better gravity than this place. He rubs his joints, knees popping. I don't know how you Earth 3ers do it.
You get used to it when you never experienced anything else.
Fair enough.
So try that.
Experience less. Interesting idea.
Did somebody say experience something else?
Hey!
Spoiler claps for herself.
Well, there goes our chances of not experiencing something new, Farah.
Thank God.
So, what'd you make me?
Long Island?
Never been there. Sure.
It's an old Earth 1 place. And probably doesn't exist anymore, but here you are.
It smells good, at least.
Strong, and you can't taste the alcohol. It'll knock you on your ass without you even knowing it.
So I assume you guys were, talking about all of the heavy political stuff that's been going on around here lately.
Has it been political? It just seems really serious.
You know, people leaving and the people turncoating, but you guys are always the same.
Yeah, I kind of got over that stuff. Like, yeah, it happened.
Right? I mean, like, who cares? It didn't happen to me.
Well, no, I mean, it's very, deeply unsettling, but you kind of expect these things.
It's all part of war or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been telling people the moon was a corpo bitch since day one.
Why didn't I meet you early?
So true, though.
She had a thing for me, an unspoken thing that she never spoke about, but I knew.
You never hit, though.
I mean, if things had gone differently, who knows what could have happened.
If wishes were fishes, then the world would be an ocean.
I miss the ocean.
So what are you guys gonna do when this place all falls apart after we built this nice bar for what's her name?
I won't lie. So most of these missions I've been on with Raoul, and he seems to know what's going on most of the time. I'm probably gonna ask him. I can't be out of a job again.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I guess stick around in construction again. I was kind of liking punching aliens. But if this thing really falls apart,
around here, there's going to be plenty of aliens to fight.
Are we going to be able to do that with everything, crumbling and falling between our fingers?
Yeah, just do it somewhere else.
Okay,
I think what our friends did was make this place a little bit of a target, but it's not like everybody's, on a hit list.
Oh, but I kind of want to keep doing that kind of stuff, the kind of stuff that would make us a target. So
then
is
go
that
blow
an option?
Stuff up. Yeah, terrorism is always an option.
It's at an all-time high.
I like you.
What did I get myself into?
Being a great bartender. Please, can I have another? I finished mine.
He slides one over. He had some leftover mix in the shaker.
Fuck yes.
What about you, Cowboy?
I don't have more stims for you. What'd you say?
What about you, Cowboy?
Oh,
you just got out of jail. There's no real reason to stick around here, right?
I'll probably go back to doing the oldest profession. You know what I mean? It's easy enough. People always need a distraction during war.
Prostitution?
Finger guns.
You didn't know?
Huh. You're a bit surrounded. Everyone here's had a bit of experience, I'd assume. Gotta make ends meet.
Oh,
Right, may as well have a little fun doing it.
cool.
He looks at a picture on the fridge. Hey, did this girl work here? He holds up a picture of Zana. He never learned her name.
Shit, I don't know.
Yeah, I think like here. Yeah, I think she was like employee of the month or something, so they named the place after her.
She must
I
have
met her
graduated
once.
or something.
Oh no, she died.
Lunar's eyes actually glaze over and he glitches for a bit. He's quiet.
You,
Yeah, she's
you
super
okay there, bud? Something wrong with the drink?
No, it's a great bar. And Zana was only knew her for a bit. And kind of like, oh, but how about that change into prostitution? Always makes the end meet, right?
Grant, you did hear someone say she did die. That was something, I don't know if you heard it as a player, but that was said out loud as a character. Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Damn, I recognized her. I didn't think this is where she ended up.
Well, I don't know about literally. I think this place was special to her or something. That's, so the name.
Okay.
I just hope they
named a bar after her. She was always stuck in the library. Used to be a barista at some hoity-toity space school. Would always walk by and see her pass out at the table studying.
Oh, so
Never
you knew
learned her name.
So you didn't know her.
I mean, I recognized her. I didn't say I knew her.
It sounds like you knew more about her than half of us.
Yeesh, that's a shame.
All I know is she was brave as fuck.
I'll drink to that.
You get a clink of the glass. He finishes the second one.
Damn.
Anyway, prostitution.
Prostitution.
Oh man.
I was about to say the trick is, but I don't know. I don't want to speak professional to professional. But Farah.
Yeah.
If you want to do punching, you want to do exploding, talk to Raul. He seems to always have something said.
Yeah. He'd be, okay with the more, seditious type stuff.
Oh, definitely not. He's so straight-laced.
He sighs like half the time, but he's got like a heart of gold. He'll just say like, fuck it, and then he'll help. He's great.
He's... All right. I will take your counsel into consideration. He's been kind of, strict towards me, but...
Yeah, he's got big cop energy.
Yeah, right. I was thinking, like, stuff more like Teddy got to talking about. Crazy shit. Blowing up,
Vigilante justice.
Government stuff. Yeah.
Well, she's probably not going to do that here, because, wanted terrorists and all that.
Yeah, she got cool at the end. R.I.P. I raised my drink to Seti's memory.
Wait, she died?
What?
She, no, she's, well, maybe.
That's a shame.
She hasn't answered my emails, so she's gonna be dead to me soon, I swear to God.
Your newsletter.
I think you're used to women not answering your emails, to be honest.
You all see him on the level. What exactly?
Speaking of, Bonnie, you enter the room, and you've got your little dog with you.
Oh, yes,
cute.
She's taking her time. She's like rubbing her foot.
Oh, that's funny. I got my little dog with me too.
What is this competition? I didn't know you wanted to be.
All right, let's see who can do the best tricks.
Yeah.
Sit.
I think He's already.
Oh, he's already. Whoa!
Fucking psychic! Never step to me.
Bonnie is surprised at everyone being in here and says, "What brings you all guys here?"
Free drinks, buddy! And turns
Fell
to
off
the
my
bartender.
skateboard.
Why were you
Backing up.
skateboarding?
Because there's no rules anymore. No one's gonna stop me. You gonna call HR on me?
No, I wouldn't do it in the first place.
See, you're a cool one.
We were
What
just
can I get you
talking
to drink,
about
bud?
prostitution and, if we're going to keep killing aliens or humans, the government. Where are you at?
Yeah.
Prostitution,
In a good
aliens,
way.
or the government?
1 to 10. Yes is not
Prostitution's
enough.
a little bit too early for, let's put that on the, way back burner.
Give it time.
Okay,
Yeah.
until it boils over. Sure.
Now, spoiler.
And,
What about prostitution for the aliens? You
Yeah,
like it.
Bonnie's ears perk up slightly, but she sits down.
I saw that.
But
How you been, buddy?
I don't have any energy anymore. I sort of blew up, and then now I'm just crashing. But
Have some alcohol.
I don't know.
Grant
if that's
says a
best.
coffee on the table in front of her.
Thank you. You're
Put some alcohol in it.
Put some stim in it.
Oh, no, I want to keep myself fresh for now. And about what I want to do, I genuinely don't know, but I want to keep helping people. At least doing something. I can't go back to doing nothing.
Hell yeah.
Now, that's a plan I can get behind.
Yeah, so you're on my side then.
But do you think we
What
can
is your
realistically
side?
do it here?
I don't know. I don't know. Blowing up government property is necessarily going to be helping as many people as you hope, Farah.
Yeah, that'd be really funny though.
It's when you do it strategically,
Mhm.
and when the government's bad. Spoiler alert: all governments are bad.
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
Yeah, I had to do that.
So how are you gonna do all that helping people, Bunny? You come into $1 million or something?
I have some stuff, but not a lot. There's some ideas. I have Gateway at least. I can do something with that.
Oh my god, a talking rug.
All I know is I'm staying on the planet. I'm already doing my best to leave this place. It's my home. But I'm not leaving the planet.
It couldn't be me. I just got a guy. He said he's gonna get me out of here.
Oh, is this the prostitution thing?
Nope. I'm going straight lace, like that other guy.
Wowee.
Maybe Spoiler is experiencing something new.
Looks like you're changing. Well, we're staying the same. That's cool.
Are we? I mean,
don't know
everything's
yet.
falling apart around us, so I think if we don't change, we die. But we can minorly change.
Bonnie
gotta be
picks
the-
up. Bonnie picks up her dog and goes, "Well, we were builders before this. We can just build it up if it breaks apart."
Is that what our job was? Yeah, we were builders before this.
Yeah, I got a taste for the breaking, though.
That's part of building.
Really?
Hey, you gotta break the foundation or something, right?
Okay, yes! This is... Alright, guys. I'm liking this. I'm liking where this is going. We gotta tear shit down so we can build it up better.
Yeah.
Exactly. We gotta be the foundation. Everyone else is struggling right now, so we gotta be the foundation people can build up on.
Yeah.
Do we start now? Luna picks up a chair
No, don't do that. We are. Don't, please.
We could break stuff. It would leave less evidence.
Let's respect the those who have passed on to the great bar break room in the sky.
Sir, give me a knockout, double the gin, no cherry, right now.
I heard you coming. I already got one. Slams it on the counter.
He downs it, turns around. Okay, thank you. He stops. Good job, everyone. Keep up. Do whatever. Great company, great work. Your seditious thoughts? Okay, yeah. Okay. He walks over and just collapses over on the black and rolls himself back straight up as he's just like, I heard something about sedition.
That's a big word.
Don't worry,
Yeah,
it's
what's
a
that
legal
mean?
word, but just do it outside of sight, okay? Do whatever. We are very busy. Get your own little party together and go off in sedition and peace, okay? I don't need any more paperwork.
We'll try to keep some paperwork out of your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grant leaned
I
over.
was
with
worried
his-
for a second.
It's a man who could drink anyone here under the table.
Well, yeah, he's Russian.
Really?
What's Russia?
He's always in a hurry.
Nice save.
Honestly, I thought HR coming in here meant one of us was in trouble.
Not anymore. No rules. Where's my skateboard?
Half pipe.
Yeah. Oh God, Bonnie.
Yeah?
You've been busy, girl. Raul wants to see you and Lunar.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
All right.
Lunar whispers to Ferret, "That's the guy."
Yeah, you're in trouble. Or he
Wait,
just
no.
wants to talk about something important.
You can't do that
About
to me.
feelings or something. Oh, dude, I got your back.
You should probably
Okay.
like intrude or something if you want to, make a team.
Well, yeah, are you guys headed over to talk about the seduction?
No, spoiler and I are going to talk about here.
Yeah, it's an art form,
Goes back
Now
thousands
Fer
of
is
years.
going to be pulled between a rock
so
and a
hard.
hard place.
Anarchy or seduction? This is a really hard decision.
Ooh. I'll be eavesdropping. Don't tell,
I'll fill you in later, Farrah. Don't worry.
Okay,
Come on,
yeah.
Luna, let's go.
I know what you two are gonna talk about.
Nothing new
Bonnie
there.
walks with the two dogs.
Lunar stares dagger at the robotics dogs. You got a problem with me? Type of daggers.
Territorial dispute breaks out.
He's not even showing his ass. How am I supposed to know where that dog's been?
Little does Farrah know that we are talking about late 80s, early 90s band Seduction.
Oh, that's like
Damn it,
ancient
I missed
history.
out.
Stop talking about classical music and start talking about sex.
What is your favorite of the classics? I don't know, man. I think Backstreet Boys was it,
Sax? No, sax. That's what I said.
Dude,
Sax.
I love
No,
Backstreet
sax,
Boys'
you know,
Fifth
with the
Symphony.
instrument. Oh, like the Itachi? No, the Itachi.
I wanted
Yeah.
that way movement.
Tell me why.
Tell me why. Okay.
I think this. God,
Alrighty.
how do they keep getting mentioned? How does the Backstreet Boys keep coming up in Stabbyness streams?
They're just
'Cause
the
they're
best.
back.
Why? Yeah, they're
Timeless
back.
anomaly.
Okay.
All right.
They came
All
in.
right.
They came in through
You're
the back
so
streets.
right. You're so
Nobody
right. I
ever-
don't know why I even asked.
They are so bad.
So, alrighty. Hey, Raul.
Me?
You get up, move your way down to the hangar again. As you head on inside, you notice a number of boxes have been moved and things seem to be getting packed up. But you head on inside, crack open the door, adjust your clothes, and move on inside.
Raul dragging his feet ever since he got back from the mission, from his survey of that signal where Moon said her goodbyes. There has been this pounding headache in his head. Tried taking medicine for it, didn't work. It's just agonizing, but just keeps trudging on. He made good progress on this thing already, but he has hit a wall, and that's why he called Bonnie. He moves over to the console, takes out a flash drive thing, plugs it into the machine, opens up the files that were made public, the mech files, the LAD files, and takes a look at it, presses a few buttons, tries once again to track down all the printers that have accessed this file ever since, the transmission, and no avail. Duck's security is borderline unbreakable at this point. He gives off a deep sigh and then again, BAM! Like a sledgehammer hitting the back of his head. This pounding headache, his right eye just pulsating, starts to tear up. He tries to wipe it away, but it doesn't go away.
If you had a doctor on hand, maybe someone could help.
He stops, catches his breath.
Bonnie?
I hope Bonnie can crack this shit. Shit.
You came in, Bonnie, and you're about to introduce yourself, and you notice this grimace and obvious pain that's sort of reflected on Raul, and it sort of caught you for a second. It seems like a very physical type of ailment.
She has a lot of concern on her face as she moves across and goes, Raul, what did you need? Is everything all right?
Hey, it's nice to see you all. More
It's
people
nice
than
to
I
see you.
invited. So I'll
Don't mind me, just practicing my moves.
I'm glad you're having a good time, Farah.
Feel free to talk about anything you need to. I'm not listening.
No, it's good that you're here. Come closer. I might need you for this.
Bonnie walks up and she basically rubs Raul's head and then goes.
He jolts a little bit when you touch him.
Sorry, I should have asked permission.
No, it's fine. It's more instinct than anything at this point. He's rubbing his right eye quite a bit. I just got a pounding headache. It won't go away. He spins in the chair. So I've decided to take down the government.
That's something to open with, okay?
Right?
Okay, that is something. And do you have an idea about how you want to do it?
Yeah, do go on.
I have a plan. But first I'm gonna need cracking this security that Duck put in place here. Raul moves out of the chair. I already rolled for this in downtime. I just need your help to do it.
Okay. I
You
sit
work
down.
with Duck, right? You can access this kind of thing.
Yeah, I sort of interacted with his stuff quite a bit. She starts to work on it.
As you know, Dead End went about and had the idea to supply everyone with a printer with the ability to print a combat-ready lad.
Yeah.
I want to take, he says, still rubbing the right side of his face, full advantage of that. Untrained people with machines out there are just gonna get themselves killed. We're gonna need somewhere to rally, and I think this is the perfect opportunity to. He looks like up to the sky. Sorry, Sadie. I think I'm about to hijack your evolution.
Bonnie.
Not that you would probably mind.
Yeah, Bonnie does say she honestly gave us the keys. We were talking about it before we found some details. She's pretty much handed dead end to us.
What the fuck is a dead end?
We'll explain it later, but it's...
Yeah, when my head isn't exploding.
This is some Illuminati shit.
So, Bonnie.
I'll be real, too. Go ahead, Christian.
I'm just going to say, while you're chatting, Bonnie, you start getting to work. Duck made a secure, pretty nice package here. But what Raul wants you to do is not impossible. Mainly because a lot of the distributions come from your guys. It's like you own the keys to the lad, essentially. So while it might be almost impossible for an outsider to hack into this, you literally have all the admin permissions and stuff like that, and it's sort of able for you to get in, especially because, as you're about to explain, or you did explain, you have some of the dead-end information as well, so it's not too hard to get back in there.
So Raul leans on the console. On the screen, mostly careful to not press any buttons that shouldn't be pressed. So, I do have a plan. It's not foolproof by any means. But if we can corral these people who now have access to war machines, that's a good start. What was I about to say? He says, pressing hard on his right eye.
Don't press on it.
It stopped. Weird. Maybe it's the lack of sleep. Anyways, yes. I don't agree with the methods that End employed. In my opinion, they caused too much of a splash for my tastes. Not saying what they did was wrong. In fact, it was right, if anything, but to change things, extreme force usually doesn't do the trick quite nice. The way I see it, you remove a tumor with surgery, not with a sledgehammer.
I'm not quite understanding their actions, but I feel like it wasn't really the intent.
What is done is done.
Yeah.
And I plan on taking full advantage of what they did. I'll be sure to say my thanks later, too, once we save this planet. For now, I have two objectives. The first one is to reclaim my birthright, Clear. With access to Clear, we have access to the largest shipping company in Earth 3. Even Earth Collective fails to take hold in this place as much as they did. And once we do that, we gain resources. And with resources, we start taking apart this government.
Are you sure?
And once we do,
dive into that?
Yes, because once we steer this place for the better, the next step is simple. He stops for a second. He looks at a PDA that he has in his hands. The next step is simple. We win this war.
All right. That's gonna be tougher than it sounds, but I'm for it.
Of course, I'm also gonna need allies. He looks over at Lunar and Farah. This place is about to go up in flames in a few hours, probably. You two have anywhere to go?
Oh, I'm probably following you to the end. I feel like if you're taken, and he doesn't know much about your history, and he doesn't like to assume, so he kind of has one hand up. Your birthright. I assume if this all goes up in flames, not this isn't where we're standing, but the thing that you want to get, it's better than what's going to happen here, most likely. And we've taken care of each other for so far.
Looks over at Farah.
I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, but then you hit me with that opener, so I'm like, yeah, I'm into it. Let's see where this goes.
Negotiations successful.
The kid always has the sauce.
Well, most people will probably dance around the issue, but I'll say it straight. TMG's gone. We can't use that name anymore. It's dead. Everything associated with it will be used against us. Propaganda by the UEA and Earth Collective. TMG's gone. I'll think of a new name.
Incredibly sad at that.
Oh no, not my company.
I'll need more people than this. I'll look around. Maybe Ace. An experienced
Bonnie,
soldier would be nice.
That registers on your brain.
Yeah.
Right there with the crack. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. She's going through all this stuff and goes, we had a talk with Ace and Helen. I know about all the stuff that we got, and we were gonna tell everyone about it, so it might be a good time to talk about and see if anybody's interested. Anybody's willing.
I overheard some things about leaving the planet. Well, those who stay, let's give them the option to join us in this borderline suicidal mission, I think. I would like to use a bond power.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, suddenly Raoul feels a pulse again behind his right eye. And I would like to use Heart Sight.
Oh, yeah?
By concentrating momentarily, you can sense the ambient emotional state of those close to you.
Ooh.
You don't have to be able to see them, but the effect becomes muddled if there are more than a few people close by. You got a +1 accuracy and increased effect on the next check, acting on any insight you glean from this. Yeah, suddenly, Raoul gets a rush of thoughts into his head. What's the general emotional state of this room?
Yeah, how's everyone feeling about this?
Rowdy, horny. I think Bonnie is feeling... It's like a mixture of a quiet bit of determination that is like slowly building. It's still shaky. She is feeling a lot of melancholy when everybody talks about leaving this place. She is... There is a lot of sad emotions attached to that.
Mm-hmm.
Through all the stim you'd feel through Lunar is just blank. It's almost eerie, but under those layers you see a slight wave of just fear and the feeling that he needs to do anything to make sure the people around him survive, and anyone in this company survive as well.
Mm-hmm.
From Farah, you feel relief, actually. It feels like she's relieved to have a direction.
Awesome. And Raoul reels back for a second. Jesus Christ. What's happening? He puts his hand over the panel. How's the crack?
How's the crack, boss?
How's the crack,
Lunar?
boss?
All right, so
Yeah.
Around this point, you all sort of get a bit of a notification that there's going to be a TMG meeting within the dorm room and the rest hall. So you sort of look at that, realize it's almost about time to get up before you then, like on your ways back. Really quick, just have a really quick Raoul and Bonnie moment right at the end there, though. As you all start getting ready to head out, I'd love that.
Yeah.
Raoul, before they do head out, he does look at everyone and says, "Things may look bleak right now, but keep in mind, there's a reason why they see us as such a force to be reckoned with. There's a reason why they're trying to tear us down. It's because they're scared. And the way I see it in regards to this war, the human spirit is unbreakable. We will win. We just need a little bit of setup." He stumbles a little bit when he says that.
Bonnie grabs, helps him.
Thank you.
Hell yeah, man. You need a nap first, though.
I also need some water.
Yeah. But once people start walking away, Bonnie keeps Raoul with him, with her. And
check out this nose grab.
Holy shit, bro. That was awesome.
That's fucking sick.
Killer exit.
She looks at him for a moment, looks at him tired, and says, "Hey, is it alright if I give you a hug?"
He stops for a moment. Yeah. Thank you.
She pulls him in to a pretty big hug. It's filled with a lot of emotion, and it's just she's holding you pretty tight, worried that you're gonna break.
Yeah. Bonnie is certainly stronger than Raoul. Raoul, being a rich kid, spent a lot of time out of Earth 3 growing up, so his musculature isn't as developed as most Earth 3ers. He's a little bit taller, and he wishes he was a baller. But yeah, you just squeeze him, but despite of that, he does not break. He's been through a lot, but yeah, I think this could be a chance for you to notice something interesting too. When you pull him tight and hug him, you don't really feel a heartbeat.
Oh. I think that worryingly so makes her hold a little bit tighter. Not physically, but there's a little bit more. As she goes, you can ask for any of these anytime. You don't need to be strong. We are here with each other, and I don't know what happened a lot when you were before, but now it's different.
He stops for a second, and He stops for a second and just gives you a very soft, gentle smile. Thank you. I could say the same for you. I know you're probably handling a lot of things right now. So if you need help, well, can't say I'll solve them, but I'll try to help you out.
She looks and sort of sighs and goes, "Yeah, I need to be a bit more open. It might sound odd, but I've been keeping a lot of things in."
We all have, Bunny. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Once we've been hurt before, we're scared to be hurt again, and even if we haven't been hurt before, the thought of being hurt, well, makes us keep quiet, even though we shouldn't. I would know better than most people. I've kept quiet for a long time. He, gives you a head pat.
She smiles a little bit. She sits back.
Sorry.
She sits back down and curls up her feet and goes, "I want to save this planet. I want to do my best to make this place better than it was."
I can swear to you, this is all I want. This is my objective right now. I'm not going after Clear for revenge or anything petty like that. Not anymore, at least. I'm going for them because it's the quickest, most accessible route to being able to change things. I'm not saying it's free of danger. Hell, it'll probably put us in a lot of danger, if I'm being honest. Those bastards they were my father's company for a reason. But we can do this. I know we can.
She looks at her hands a little bit as it's shaking. She's like, I think I still can't feel like the danger is real, but if I'm with you guys, if I have something other than me to experience, then maybe I can pull myself back down to earth.
Well, if you ever need someone to talk to, I'll listen. Through headache and all. He gives a little smirk.
You should really get that checked out.
I really should. It's really painful, holy fuck.
She pats his head too. And before she stands up, she looks and says, "You know, there's one thing I didn't tell anybody. Before you came to this thing, this company, before the glassing, I wasn't meant to be here. I could have dodged all of this."
Well, would you have wanted to?
No. If I had left, I wouldn't have been able to be with my dad for the last couple of years.
Yeah. Well, I guess a secret for a secret. I was sent here as punishment for disobeying my dad. He sent me over here to do what he called a peon's work.
She sort of looks like, oh. No.
Yeah, that guy wasn't great. That guy wasn't really good.
Good riddance. Oh,
Good
sorry, I
fucking
don't want
riddance. No, he agrees wholeheartedly. But there is a twinge of confusion in his eyes. He's not sure how he feels about his father. He touches his hand on. He puts his hand over his, in theory, heart, but quickly puts it away. The meeting should be starting soon, right?
Yeah. She stands up, and for a little bit, she looks a little hesitant, but she does grab your hand and walks with you towards the direction of the thing.
he mentions with a little bit of a grin.
Well, all right.
They walk off.
You go off
into the sunset.
Raul, you grab Bond's chair and just push her on down. Push her around the side and going out through the lad garage, heading your way down to the dorms, which have been your home for a little bit now. Readying to visit at least one last time.
I wonder how much I should pack. I have like a whole wardrobe in there.
Oh, God.
And, really quick, okay, so, now, I want everyone for this scene. So, we're gonna lead into this one. I'm gonna have some people starting talking first. When the others arrive, it's gonna get a more restrictive, but, yeah, here we go, gang. It's time to say goodbye.
Is it like people are going to be like filtering into this scene?
Yes, we start out with the people we have right now here, and then we're going to filter some people in.
Black flag for me, but it's fine. It's probably token thing.
It's just camera, so.
Yeah, just press tab until you find something.
Yeah, gotcha. Thank you.
Okay. In that corner, I'll actually start off with you, Savvy. So, you lean in there, and as you do, Pops is kind of there. They're both sitting. Merkin gives a report of what has happened as he... So, I've got everyone's reports. It seems we have 2 additionals that have gone missing. Dumpster is nowhere to be found, and one of the new guys, Gopher, just vanished as soon as the report went off. So, primary staff is here, but we've lost a few hanger-ons.
Well, I suppose they weren't exactly company members or contracted in any way. I suppose they had the right to just leave whenever they wanted. To be completely frank, I hadn't really considered them part of the team.
Pops kind of like has a little bit of hearty off. Well, I suppose I did, but I don't blame him. That makes sense. He kind of puts something, like shoves something deeper into his coat pockets before just kind of looking over. Well, we've got most everyone here. Well, only 4 left.
Do we... Sonny, I don't know if you've been speaking to anyone, but do you have any idea of who is planning to leave?
He kind of turns on over a little bit as he's just like, I know Bond's not heading out. She'd rather die than leave this place. Can't say much over there, but I feel like Grant's probably going to be heading out sometime soon. It just seems in his nature. So maybe take him with instead of just casting him out into the wilds. And I know Helena's probably content to stay, but I want her to go with you, honestly.
I'm on the same page in that regard.
You know what? Hang on. Hey, Helena!
Hey, how's it
Hey,
going?
congrats! He reaches up and pats your shoulder. You're promoted. Come on over here. I'll get you some paperwork, some money, all that. We have a missing vacancy. He pulls you away. He pulls you away from this nice conversation you were having with Ace in the background as he drags you over to the pool table.
I like to think it was like, Ace, I'm really proud of you. You're doing great. Like a lot of motivation that gets dragged around. Fuck.
Sonny, with all due respect, and for once, this is not out of my own self-interest, considering that I would like Helena to be... Well, she is pretty much exactly what I think we would need. But, Helena, would you accept a promotion? You are not obligated to say yes.
Okay, little timeout, little context. Are we suggesting I fill Moon's seat?
I think that's what Sunny is suggesting, but to be frank, or to be honest, Helena, He kind of takes a second. It seems like he's like almost having to actively remind himself that he needs to start talking and like being like more forthright. And he goes, if I'm being honest, Helena, I consider you one of our most valuable... No, that's... I need to stop talking about all of you as if you're assets. You are one of the most important people in this company by virtue of your skills and the kind of person you are. I am not ignorant of why you have the call sign Mother Hen. And frankly, Sunny, I would find her more useful not as a peer. With all due respect, Helena.
Oh, you want a nice right hand, I get that.
She like actually takes her cigar out. Oh, that's probably the nicest thing you've ever said. It's very kind of you, Silas. I won't lie. I've been a little tipsy lately. Do you want me here or not? Or like...
Yes, to put it simply, Helena.
Oh.
If anything, would you be willing to accompany myself as the proverbial right-hand man, or woman in this case?
She looks at her robotic right hand. Yeah. I'd be honored if you don't think I'll be too distracting for you. She just tosses her hair back.
I will welcome the company.
Looking forward to it, boss.
Ugh.
No?
He goes, ugh, and you realize he took himself by surprise when he did that. And he goes, huh. Well, enough of that.
Done and done. Thanks for the promotion. Are there any benefits or...
Just get out of here.
Oh, well, it was nice when there was sunshine. She salutes. As I was saying, I'm really proud of you, kiddo. Just throws an arm around them.
And I think Silas also... Yeah, he kind of, having now had the little warm-up with Helena, kind of walks around, gives a glance to Sunny, and does a bit of a beeline for Grant. Perhaps a little bit too disconcertingly, like...
Shit, I was gonna do that too. He stops and is like, God, I got him first.
What can I do for you, boss?
I hate to interrupt. Do you have a moment?
Oh, sure, I was already losing anyway.
Yeah, I was winning.
Sits down, not on the edge. Just
I would love if he just sat on the arms.
Yeah, just sits on the arms like cool fucking substitute teacher. I will be blunt. I have been informed that there has been some stirrings of you leaving.
Well, that will be correct. We both know I was only here not under contract, but kind of as an ambassador for the prisons, and seems like TMG's. I'm not gonna say be no more, but out of commission for a while. So I decided to take that as my point to leave.
I won't stop you, but I do not think you realize how helpful you have been. I would prefer if you did not leave.
I can't say I know what you mean. You've got skilled engineers, far more skilled combatants around here. I'm really just another pair of legs to another body to shoot at. And given my stature, I probably take more resources than most people around here. He chuckles to himself.
Grant, may I call you by your first name? I realize I never asked.
I mean, you didn't need to, of course.
With all due respect, I believe that I have developed somewhat of a reputation around here. And I think that you should know quite well that I do not analyze people purely by their age, their physical stature. I'll admit I am sometimes a little bit harsh in that regard, but I care more about what people can do. Do you remember the day that we... Of course you must, it wasn't that long ago. When we broke everyone out, when we rescued everybody from the aliens.
Of course I do.
I've been having trouble lately, that much is obvious. And I've come to realize that what I previously derided in you is exactly what I need with me now. I don't need soldiers. Anyone can pick up a gun, anyone can learn how to pilot a lad. What you did that day. You gave back the mech. And you seem to have a way with people that I can't grasp. You're not just some soldier. I need people like you because you aren't a soldier at heart.
He grins. Probably the first time I've heard that in God knows how long. So you don't need a soldier, you just need a person. A people person, if you will.
I think in times of war, and I think most importantly, when I've forgotten myself, I think I've gotten so lost in the balance of corporations and politics that I don't really know how to do what you do anymore.
Well,
so yes.
How can I say no to that? Got yourself a deal.
Glad to have you
holds
aboard.
out his hand.
He shakes it.
Pop's strategically waiting for his perfect moment, pulls himself in. He's wrapped his arms around these two. He's smaller than both of them. As he kind of shovels everyone forward. Yeah, and then he kind of like pulls on Maeve over. Well, I'm glad you're going out and doing all that. You're gonna have good company. But I forgot. He reaches into his coat pockets, which you saw him kind of fumbling with earlier, Silas. I had gifts. He unclicks something from his belt, and a bag falls down, which he pulls up and puts in Maeve's hand. She's like, what's this? Well, this is, this is my old working kit. Now, those screwheads don't shred. The tools, they've been good for years. I'm telling you, that's the best thing you can find. Better than bullworms shit. Thanks. Yeah, he, kind of like... I've been holding out on you, Helena. Sorry about that.
Aw, you cheeky bastard. I don't blame you. Good tools like that, you don't want to lose them.
He kind of smiles, and then he leans on over. And for you, Grant, he pops something down. I think this was made the year you were born. It's a very nice bottle of liquor.
I can't guarantee how long this will last, but I appreciate it all the same, Mr.
He kind of smiles for it. Well, just keep it for a special occasion. I know, he kind of looks around, seeing all the people standing around you. It looks like he wants to say something, but the mood's not quite right, and he's just like, don't worry about it, yeah. Pop it open with friends, you know? He kind of slides it across the table.
So
he gives you a wink. He smiles. Well, if you say so.
Real smooth, but I have to thank you for it.
Pops kind of stands up straight. Those are my welcome gifts. I guess they're parting gifts too, but I usually always gave someone something when they first arrived at the company. I've been slacking a bit, so yeah. Leaning over, a mech leans down and pokes at the window, and Pop's eyes go wide. Excuse me. If you are handing over welcoming gifts, I would like to receive one as well.
Spoilers also like looking at him with grabby hand.
Spoiler, I did give you something. He kind of smiles. What? I gave you a hard hat. You didn't have one.
I don't want safety. I want drinks.
Don't want safety!
I mean,
all right.
Up. This is good stuff.
I can't pack up my alcohol kit, so you can take anything from my room before I head out, okay, spoiler?
Ooh, okay.
I'll get you something, Mal.
The shotgun's gonna be fucking right? Gone, bro.
Yeah. Ace, you don't drink, right?
I drink on occasion.
Well, this is the occasion, so why not? Moving on in, hearing the sound of drinks, Farah, Lunar, it seems you arrived just in time.
Hey. Man, I'm thirsty.
We handing out drinks over here?
Haven't had a drink all day.
Parched even.
All right.
Slides across the table.
My nose is telling me that's a lie.
Pops pulls out this little box, which seems to be it's sturdy, but it's also a little loose. It's like a velvet bag almost. He pops it out, and there are these little Velcro straps arranged around these shot glasses that seem like they got the Arca logo on them. You don't really know how he got that. That's not really a company gift or anything, or maybe it is. I don't know. He's been here longer than anyone, so maybe it was when he first joined up. But he pops it down, pulls out a good number of shot glasses, and then just kind of passes them around. All right, so here's how it is. You toast, you say something, and you pass on to the next one. I'll start. Pass on over. I'll crack it open for you.
All right, he hands it over to Pops.
Alrighty. He pops it, cracks it, pours it. The wildest bunch of sons of bitches I've ever worked with. Thank you all for sticking around for long. He takes it, passes over to Lunar.
He pours it, kind of looks around to found family and downs it. Pass it over. Helena.
Fuck, I wish I'd gone before you. That's what I wanted to say. Just kind of swirls it. It's a good company and reliable folks. Looks over at Grant.
He takes a sip. Well, to end this war so we can all get back to finally getting some goddamn rest.
Yeah.
Ooh, my turn. She
Go on, Chunky.
Takes it to my knight in shady armor, and she nudges
Helena,
never gonna let me come back to this planet again. Takes a drink.
Did you finally hit it, spoiler?
Helena leans in. Holy fuck, what?
Right, I never
Silas grabs the bottle and goes, to the loyal. May I earn that loyalty? And he kind of just doesn't know what else to say, and then the goofy little straw comes out of his mask and he takes the drink.
He's like a mosquito.
And passes it to Merkin.
Okay.
What now?
Let us hope that to this being the worst of times, how about that? Let it all get peachy clean and only suck this bad later. He takes a drink and passes over to Ace. And then as he does that, Mal speaks up. Bonnie, they are passing drinks as you roll up with Rao.
Yeah. She like runs in and basically like, pats him on the thing. Calm down.
Tell them that I wish to toast two friends.
Okay.
Does this window open? Can I reach out?
It's loud. That's a boombox voice. You could
a robot.
Yeah. You pass it over. He looks at it. I cannot touch that. I lack mandible attachments. Please pour it for me.
Pour one out for him.
Yeah.
On the ground? No! Just give it to me!
My apologies. It felt appropriate.
I think for something like that, we get like a wine bottle and crack it on the side. Isn't that what they do for ship?
like christening the boat.
Helena looking at the spilled drink, electrochemistry, impossible, don't lick the booze.
You're not supposed to?
No, but...
Bonnie, go inside. Raul's waiting for you.
Bonnie, for a second, goes, "No, I want to." She climbs up and is going to sit on his shoulder.
You activate your exosuit, start climbing up, and then you kind of sit on the shoulder. Please hand me Bonnie's glass. Wait. He kind of reaches down, adjusting low into like a low profile form so that you can reach over to Grant. Kind of shuffling you to the other shoulder.
She goes to grab it. We doing toast?
Yeah. Got it.
She sort of raises it to hoping that everyone can get a peaceful night's sleep.
Amen to that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyways,
sits back down.
Ace, you're next. Hey, yo! He kind of points over at Raul. No out of circle activity. Get in here.
Roll with a headache. All right.
Raul looks like he's playing air hockey alone.
Pull you over
by himself.
Sad.
You just found that out now?
Ace takes the glass, swirls it around, lifts it to the next time we meet.
Yeah.
Next time we meet.
Farrah pours one to another toast someday.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Raul looks at the bottle like, I can't drink this right now. I am going to die if I try to drink alcohol.
Sweetheart, it's fine. Just slide it. Just
toast.
No. Listen,
potato, tomato.
No, guys, let's be nice. Just slide it over here. It's fine.
And the spirits, he like lifts the bottle. A toast to, I don't know, life, I guess. he passes awkwardly the bottle.
Why am I last?
Best for last, mate.
Oh my god.
Don't fuck up.
You got this, forehead.
You got this, newbie.
Spends some time thinking, and then she sort of fiddles her thumbs again, and she's just like, she kind of, okay. I don't know many people here. I haven't been here long, so maybe I'll dedicate it to some people I learned do care and aren't here to do it themselves. So she kind of thinks about that, pours the cup. To the friends that couldn't be here, I hope they do well too. She pours a glass, takes a drink.
That's a
you're
one.
adopted.
Oh, she's adopted. Jinx.
Silas sneers at the idea of Moon.
So, Pops kind of, that was a good one. I appreciate that too. Kind of Pops, pats her shoulder, and then kind of turns over to Silas. Well, thanks for coming, everyone. He kind of steps back, moves on over. Merkin scoots out so you could maybe get out yourself too.
Oh, that's it then, yeah.
Silas stands where he is.
We're not done yet. Yeah.
Hold on. There we go. Shift. That's the.
Oh,
that's the
shit, he's
button.
on the table.
Yeah, he's in front of the table.
He's not on the table, but yeah, he stands. And he goes, No, it's not. That's not it. We are not dissolving as a company. That is not to say that I am keeping you all here or forcing anyone to do anything. You're free to do what you want, you're contractors. Some of you have already left. But I have no intentions of giving up on this war. I have no intentions on giving up on any of you. Most of all. I'm done. I am finished with not earning loyalty. I was expecting it. But for that to happen, it seems that we must part ways for some time. I believe there is something that can help us on Buy 9. I will be going there, and I've already spoken to a few people who I would like to accompany me. I believe Sunny intends to stay here on the planet and manage the situation. Is that correct?
He nods his head. That's damn right.
And let me assure you, looks to Sunny, this time, we're in this together.
You heard the man. He kind of calls over. So I want you all to pack your things, get your guns, get your robots, get your things, because, my God, we're going to kick some ass and we're going to meet up again. We're all going to have some nice drinks again. You hear me?
Damn straight.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a feeling we won't be finished seeing the other friends that left along the way as well. Keep yourselves ready. TMG's broken and fractured, and we'll go by a lot of different names, but the names never mattered. You never stopped being my company, people. So good luck. He kind of checks away. Pretty sure the alien forces will be here in about a day. We have less time than that. We'll start whipping up some missions, we'll get busy, and we'll give them hell, you hear me?
Hell yeah.
Get used to that.
Loud and clear.
Right on! He's like, well, I can't really talk any longer or else I'm gonna start drinking some more. So let's go! Come on! Everyone get packing!
Everyone who's coming with me, prepare an off-planet pack.
Ace leans over to Farah. Who is Sonny?
Those who are staying, come talk to me later. And he gives a look to Pops.
He kind of turns on over. Wow.
Take a nap.
Including you.
And it goes over. He goes over and pats your shoulder. Good to be working with you. I consider you my new right man, Raul. You always deserve that spot, honestly. You're a good worker.
Thank you.
You, look a little hurt, though. Maybe go get a rest, huh?
Yeah, I got the worst headache I've ever had in my life right about now.
Well, if you need medicine, that's my daily life, so...
Oh, I already took some. That's the worst part. He starts, walking off.
Ah, damn. Right. See you soon. He, starts walking too,
Raul,
and it's that funny situation where I think you guys walk in the same direction at first.
I know you gotta love when this happens.
Oh, God, no I don't. Don't worry. You turn left up ahead, I turn right, and he kind of stops. Oh, shit. You both awkwardly saunter down the hallway as you both kind of make your way forward. And as you go, he's sort of like, all right, see you after a good night's sleep.
Yeah,
Cracks open the door.
Yeah, Raul looking at his little PDF thing, opens a PDA thing, opens a few files. Arthurian legend, yeah, that might work.
You peek over, doing a little research as you head off toward the direction of your room. Moving on down, you find yourself moving over here, stepping off, moving up to your door, cracking it open. Moving in one last time into this room as you step in. It's been a long day. It's been a long week, month, year, life, probably.
He looks at all of the books he collected. Some plastic models he never got the chance to build. Spins the chair, plops down, and that fucking headache.
It does hurt. It's been ringing all day, for a while now. You've always had slight headaches in the past, but ever since everything happened with Moon and beyond that, ever since the capture, you felt that ringing in your ears. That long, dead tone, resonating deep in your skull, piercing directly into everything as you feel this resonant ring almost break into your mind. And at a certain point, it becomes too much to bear as that building ring continues to splinter off through your different ears. Resonating through your skull, you feel your head almost hit the floor immediately. Clock is cleared. TMG's task is done. You all prepare to move out. But before that happens, Raoul, you finally come to again. Over here. Can you see?
Yes, I can.
What do you see?
A dungeon.
Your eyes peek across. You have that momentarily shift of your body getting into panic because this is not where you passed out. The floor is hard, heavy, but it also doesn't feel correct. Your mind shifts as your eyes drift around in every which direction, looking across the way.
As adrenaline pumps into his brain, what is supposed to be his heart adjusts accordingly. Not a human heart, mind you, a machine put in its place. Much more efficient. But that doesn't stop the cold sweat and the panic from setting in. He stops for a moment and bites into his thumb. Does it hurt?
It doesn't hurt. Wait, no, it does. But it lingers, it registers late. It's like everything is delayed for you right now as your mind feels like it's racing.
He tries to make it to his feet.
You stumble, shifting to your feet ever so slightly, as you look over to your right and you see these scattered crates and broken masonry. To your left, you see this battered cage and a hole in the ground for excrement for long-term stay. Cobwebs litter the entire area. Cobwebs. This size doesn't seem right.
He stops. He tries to crack a joke to make light of the situation. Nothing comes to mind. He looks up at the stairs and at the door in front of him.
Let me just roll something ahead of time for you. Okay. You look at this area around you. There seems to be a cascading wall that goes up, stairs leading up to a door that seems rusty and broken. You notice a slight crack in the wall, light spilling out in a direction there.
I don't know if it matters, but that's actually at 25.
Yes.
I put 2 more points in there.
Yes, I forgot to update the sheet. No, it doesn't. It's over 20, so you're good. You recognize this actually a little bit. Surprisingly enough, this isn't entirely unfamiliar to you. You said it was a dungeon because you remember reading and looking at your, history books. This is old Earth 3 architecture. You can tell by the way the roof is domed.
3 or Earth 1?
Earth 3.
Huh.
Yeah. You check across the way. You swore you remember it was something to do with first settlement. Before the second arrival of human settling ships to this planet. One made it in a previous expedition, years and years prior. They had begun settlement here. Back then, this wasn't Earth 3. No, the people then called it something different. Kantaros. It was their planet. History speaks very little of these people. Their tales, their stories are mostly lost to time. It was mentioned they never wrote much, though. As you step up, you pull your way to this door. You try to push in it. It's not locked, but jammed.
He tries knocking.
You knock. Nothing.
Tries to push in with more strength.
You push with more strength, and there's a rattle. And then finally, a crack as the door just falls off the hinges and slams to the ground as you look directly ahead. It's slamming down there, laying there. You notice this prevalent rot and decay that's festered around this area. Feel free to explore as you will.
Where am I?
Tell me what you want to look at or what you want to do, and I'll answer you.
Is this a chest?
Yes, in fact, it's kind of interesting. It's not as old-fashioned as you'd expect. It seems that there is, like, it's worn and rusted, but it seems like this is a classic steel chest you'd find more predominantly around this era. It's something you're a little familiar with. Now that, because of your high roll, I'll tell you a little more. It's probably leftovers. In the initial settlement, they didn't seem to have a big understanding. Their reproduction machines, the ones that were able to get them back to populace level, were functional, but it seems many of their other mechanics were not. They had some leftover supplies and materials, but only the very rich ever got any of that.
I guess people have been having it rough since the dawn of time. Raoul says weakly, still trying to regain his strength. He takes a peek inside the chest.
You take a peek inside the chest as you look, kind of pushing over the padlock, which almost rusts away in front of you, made of a different material. You look inside, and you see... It's kind of interesting. You see a weapon, a pistol, definitely out of date. This is a pistol that would really never find its way on the battlefield nowadays, but it's also older than the old matchlock style pistol you might expect from the era of Kantaros. It's a middle ground, which means, paradoxically, it must be even older than Kantaros. It must be from Earth 1.
Oh my god. He slowly reaches. It's... Any manufacturer marks?
You see an S&W on the label, though.
Would Raoul know Smith & Wesson?
Oh, no way, bro.
Yeah. He looks...
Pull back really quick. As you do, you notice that, like, by pulling away, you sort of feel this feeling kind of like slip off as things seem to get a little darker suddenly in the room.
He looks up, looks around.
You notice a few other things, of course. Feel free.
Yeah. He looks over at the lit fires over there, but first takes a look at these armor sets.
A relic of old Kantaros, before the landings. Before landing day, this was the primary weaponry that older soldiers took into battle. Suits of armor. You notice the metal-tipped hats, a bit hard to see from this angle, but they seem to arc up into this almost like candle-like shape, where at the very top and the back, there were these little mounted things in the back where they wore candlelight in the darker areas of the world.
Mm-hmm. Candles.
You notice another door to the left of you.
Oh, this
it seems
is
to be
a door.
wrought iron. Yes, It seems to be a door of wrought iron.
Not even steel. He runs his fingers through it.
You run your fingers through it. It still seems somewhat sturdy. Unlike the door before, this won't budge, and the padlocks seem more fresh on this one.
He looks at his Smith & Wesson. Can Raul even operate this thing?
Give me another. Here, I'll make a roll for you. Let me see. No, you cannot. Wait, no, it does because it passes because you have the extra 2 now. 11. You can kind of get the operation. The nice thing about a firearm is that they're generally simple.
Yeah, he knows to keep his finger off the trigger.
Yes.
At all times. But he tries to look for the mag release.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's a mag or if it's a
it is.
Okay, so it is a pistol.
Yes.
Yeah. Any bullets in there?
Hang on. 3 bullets.
Okay. He plops it back in there. Does a barrel check by pulling the slide a little bit to see if there are any in the chamber already.
None in the chamber. Besides the one you just load now.
He keeps that in mind for now. He didn't expect fear and hunger time today. I'm gonna be real with you, gamers. He makes a mental note of that door as something inside of him. It gives him an eerie feeling about it. So instead, he walks up to this lit place.
You walk up to this lit place, kind of stepping in, and the brightness of the room, the only real light cast about it, catches your eyes as you sort of block your vision and stumble up for a little bit. As you sort of move up, your eyes twitch and adjust to the surrounding. As you kind of move up and you look across the way, and you're caught by a specter. Something that makes you stop dead in your tracks and almost hold there. You feel the grip of the pistol in your hand. You don't raise it yet, but you're almost solid as a statue for a moment. As you sort of hang your way there and look directly across the way. You stare at something directly across as you almost see the head arcing and the form moving. And you see a smile drift across his face. Oh, welcome. Finally. Graced by my descendant, after all. You've woken up, haven't you? Wonderful. He adjusts, lounging himself ever so subtly up on the chair.
What the fuck is going on?
He leans languidly on his arm as he sort of stares at you. Come up closer. Don't be afraid.
A chill runs down his spine. Raul grips the firearm, but there has been no aggressive actions taken towards him other than the fact that he woke up in this place that seems real but not. He stops himself from raising the weapon, instead choosing to holster it, and starts to run his mind, what does he mean by descendant? Is this my ancestor? What the fuck are you?
He waves his hand gently for you to approach closer.
The way he spoke, I can understand him fine?
You can. Just fine. It's strange. Language doesn't seem to be a barrier here for some reason.
Where is this place? Did you bring me here?
He, kind of smiles. Again, he has this look on his face. It's like it always looks like he's about to burst out into laughter. It's unsettling. Make me a Crowned in Stars roll. Add 2d6, keep 1 difficulty to this one, though.
Okay.
Just give me a roll and I'll roll the difficulty part.
I can input difficulty.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, all right. Unfortunately, there is no recognition that comes to your mind, just a stare and a smile as he looks across the way. Now, don't worry, my descendant. You came here yourself. I could not come to you until you were ready, and you've readied yourself quite well. Look at you. Absolutely resplendent with noble regalry. You shine beautifully in halves. Kind of adjusts, finally sitting up on the couch as he sort of looks at you.
Another shiver runs down Roll's spine. It reminds him of his father a little bit. But yeah, he steps a little bit closer, like keeping an eye on his surroundings. What the fuck is happening?
He kind of
I'm gonna be real. I'm just waiting for it.
I was hoping you were the one person who knew what was fucking happening, man.
I got no idea.
He kind of shifts his head a little bit. It seems you're finally ready to take up the mantle of kingship, so long forgotten in this land.
King, that you speak of. Forgive me, I'm a little bit lost here. I will admit. Kings haven't existed for millennia.
Oh, you're right. This all be confusing. Blame it on that harlot for not explaining it to you, as she always does. He sort of leans forward, staring at you.
Psychic space vampire.
You've not learned quite a lot. After all, she barely likes guiding her people. She likes watching them flail about till their destined deaths come, and their lives are forfeit to her great plan. But you have been abandoned by many, and you finally had enough, have you? Tell me, are we the same in that regard?
Roll stops. Squints a little bit. I suppose so.
Well, good. You've had headaches, no?
Pounding ones.
He kind of thinks about that. Yes. It is the implants fighting back against your destiny.
Huh?
You have no fucking idea what he's talking about. Again. Many mysteries. It is not my place to explain everything to you. I could. He kind of smiles a bit. But I would not be able to resist myself. I would say lies and speak falsehoods to you and get back to my old tricks.
Raoul finds himself smiling at that notion, even though he doesn't know why.
Yeah.
Something about it just gets this almost vicious smile out of him, and then he snaps back to his expression.
It did feel very familiar and warm in a weird way, as he kind of waves his hand. No matter. Let me let you back to your business. I should not keep you for long. But no, if you want to speak to me, simply will it, and you shall be back here. This place is not a real place. The human mind is a weak thing, capable of being twisted to see whatever it wants to see, if you know the ways and the methods.
I see. May I ask just, who are you? What's your name?
The smile once more returns. In times past, I was known as the Laughing King. You may call me Ancestor, or perhaps He smiles, barely able to contain a laugh. You may call me Merlin. Let me give you a sword. A metaphorical sword to cut your way to the truth. That is the task of all great wizards. He almost waves his hand forward. Go and interact with that fanciful pat of yours when you awake. You shall find a gift from me to you.
Roll touches his head, feeling nauseous, losing balance. And I suppose it all fades to black.
You're correct. It all fades to black. As you look back, you find yourself in the dorms again, and I'll drag you back here. As you find yourself almost passed out on the ground there, and then you slowly pull yourself up. The rug present there is so much softer and kinder than the stone cold tile of before. And beyond that, the fluorescent light shines.
Shining in his eyes. Roll looks at his hand. Is the bite still there?
No, it isn't.
Okay.
But, yeah. It seems like truly this was all just a dream. But your pad is glowing in the corner.
Yeah. First thing he does, actually, is he gets himself up to his feet, opens a drawer, looks at a little, I suppose a little case. He opens it, and inside are a bunch of stems. And he makes sure he didn't take any by mistake.
Yeah.
He closes it, puts it in his pocket, and even though he doesn't have a normal human heart that beats, he almost feels the heart pounding in his chest as anxiety takes over, and he makes his way to the pad.
You go over and
touches it.
You touch it, it opens up, it looks normal at first. You don't see any new notifications or anything, but it's like it was turned on, like someone had just accessed it.
I guess. Nah, that wasn't just a dream. If that was a dream, I'm just clinically insane at this point.
You check through, and as you do so, eventually you find something, some type of execution or otherwise executable file.
Not the .exe.
.exe. Oh no. Let me just do one more thing. Okay. You recognize this as it's a communication line with something active right now. As you realize that what is projected here, the engineering bay just turned on. And this new executable file is some type of communication line.
That phantom heart in his chest pounding ever faster. He takes a deep breath and runs it.
You run it. In that moment, you feel
a sword.
A bit of a vibration in your computer as it heats up, glowing. And as you do so, your head begins to hurt as well, as a broadcasting signal is cast out, and immediately a projection begins to appear directly there. As the room itself seems to glow, as the little projection device seems to splash up on the screen, and the room itself almost seems to shudder until the lights turn off. And then emerging back and on again, you look directly across, seeing a projection sitting right there, looking down at you. It stares directly, eyes fierce, angry. She stares, looking down, regarding you as worse than trash. But then, she notices something. Reaching down with clawed hands, she seems to reach up and put something gently onto her face. And she stares directly at you. Finally, gazing, the glint almost glows for a moment as she stares curiously and then asks, "So then, I see I made a mistake at first regarding you. You are not him." She kind of looks directly at you. "Tell me, are you the one whom I will be now calling my liege?"
Something in his heart that isn't present anymore. Something comes out of it, something that he cannot suppress. Words, almost not his own, but an instinct. Yes. He stands up. "I am Raoul Auclair. Who are you?"
She stares for a moment. "I am the being known." She kind of thinks for a bit. "My classification shall be Athena, and I shall serve you loyally, my liege." She takes the knee, and for that moment there, you feel that surging headache subside. A legacy of kings settling inside of your mind. And that's where we're going to call it for the day, gang. Thanks for coming out.
Yippee!
Hey, what?
You can't do that shit to me, bro. What the fuck?
What?
Massive shrug emoji. I guess that can happen.
Bro got isekai'd into fear and hunger, bro.
What is happening?
Oh my so this is that Fate RPG that we've kicked up, huh?
No. God, thank you everyone for the game today. This was a great time.
Yeah,
Fucking
thank you for
great
running.
scenes, everyone. I had a great time.
Thank you
That was
for
awesome.
the amazing game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
shook.
Hell yeah.
Alright,
This was really fun.
First, we have fan art. Christian, don't click it because it makes you go quiet. I'll give you
Yes,
the link.
of course.
Yeah, Tiny Christian.
Yeah, Tiny Christian. Fan art. Thank you, Josh Twitch, for putting it together. This guide's very useful as always. A window into the pre-stream. Welcome to Florida, the truck nuts of America. Yeah. Oh God.
It's true.
Be a people person. Thank you very
You
much.
can do it, Silas. Be a people person. Girl, you wish you could hit this.
It's great. From BH Behemoth. So long and thanks for all the fish. Yeah.
That's so good.
God. Oh my God.
I am so livid that I might just turn on the Gromby bikini mod, just so I don't have to look at your very punchable face.
The Maria not caught up yet, but I'm gonna drop a duck doodle.
So cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loaded up a cat stomper.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Illegal joke.
Let me have this.
Oh
so
god,
small.
I got it.
Yeah. Let me make it larger for you.
Oh boy. Just have her back by night.
Oh
Yeah.
I've been
I
meaning
read
to
that as
introduce
I
him.
read that as Bach by 9.
Oh, then you would these be your parents. Hello, I intend to take good care of your daughter.
Have her back by 9.
And this sassy lost child. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
The bikini mod.
A bikini mod. You are sure making me glad I don't exist.
Yeah. I mean, it was Sokro from Dorp.
Bastard man.
Bastard man.
Oh, look at him. He sucks. I love him.
Nerd.
Nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Nerd no means.
Hey, there's my little umbrella.
We ran out.
Fine, I'm printing my mech and burning it all to the ground.
when I'm sad, I say, this time I'm really going to do it.
Duck's about to send it.
Yeah. Then. Yeah.
Yes! Smoke parade!
That's really good. That's great.
Spoilers of Goblin Creature.
Next to the no smoke sign is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a minute?
Oh no.
It's a little early to start my side dig, but okay.
I have no idea what you're. I have no idea as to what you're talking about.
Doggy dogs.
The
Bark,
dogs,
bark.
motherfucker, right over here.
Bark, bark.
Oh God!
Drinking gasoline.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how many
With a
calories
stim.
are in that? I'm a big boy
Yeah.
now.
You don't need to eat
I'm a
forever.
big boy now.
Oh, perfect.
All
You
right.
won't need to eat for the rest of your life, you know.
All right. And so, Christian, do you want to fill in the audience about the format coming forward, or?
Not quite yet.
Not
We're
yet?
gonna
Alright.
let that settle a
You
bit.
don't
We'll see
know.
what happens next. Yeah.
But yeah, so we're back for a little bit.
Yeah.
Gonna be a little bit. Then we're gonna be taking a large break, but because there was a lot of people after last session who was like, "Is the series over?" It's like, no. This is the end of the first part, and there's gonna be more. But yeah, so for the next next month, we're gonna be doing this. So see you guys next Friday for more of No Home in Twilight. So
For the epilogue sessions of the final bit of Act 1. I hope you all enjoy.
yeah. All right, say goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Boy.
Bye, everybody.